Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at your secret admirer. So this is intended to be somebody who has hidden feelings for you. So in this part of the reading that's on YouTube, the first part of this reading, we are going to be asking who this person is, and getting an idea of who this person is and maybe their current relationship with you. So like who they are to you. And then on the Patreon video, the extended reading on Patreon, we are going to take a look at their true feelings about you, get some more context about that, and we're going to take a look at what do they find attractive about you. With that said, please feel free to pause the video, pick whichever card is speaking the most to you, and let's get into today's reading. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Dolphin Spirit, then this will be your reading for today. And we're going to take a look at who has secret or hidden feelings for you. So this is like a secret admirer type of person. And then in the extended reading, we're going to take a look at their true feelings about you and what do they find attractive about you. So if you're interested in that, the link to that will be in the description of this video. Otherwise, let's get into the reading. So what is interesting is the Dolphin Spirit card says, this and that are true. And so it's talking about a duality, and it's talking about two things that can both be true at the same time, even though they might be disparate, people are complicated, basically, is how I would interpret that. And we have shadow sides, we have shadow attributes, and then we have, our true selves and our authentic selves. And it's interesting here because I am picking up like a duality in these cards. And I was, especially because we have cards here that are upright, that carry like a generally positive message about somebody who's genuinely trying to do some soul searching and introspection, and like create something new for themselves. And at the same time, they're kind of standing in their own way a little bit. And it's also interesting that the two cards here that we have that are in reverse are the shadow attributes of the Destroyer and the Page of Pentacles. And the shadow attributes of the Destroyer says, intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. And when the Page of Pentacles is in reverse, it can represent somebody who is basically not showing up. They're not showing up for themselves, or they're not showing up for work, or they're just not committed to whatever it is, which is just a very interesting energy, considering we also have the Hermit here in the Seven of Pentacles. Like there is a duality here. So I think it's likely that this person might be trying to work on themselves, but they're in like a transitional energy here, where I think they are still displaying attributes of their shadow self, while at the same time making efforts in other ways, like making a conscious effort in another way to make changes towards like forward progress, and to move away from this shadow attribute of the Destroyer, because I think it's interesting that this is the first card here, and then it's like there's messages about being kind, like unleash your kindest self, and releasing negativity, which I would say are not vibing with this shadow destroyer energy. And so I just thought that was interesting to mention right off the top of the bat, because it's like this person's kind of, they're like, it's this and that are true. They're kind of like in an in-between kind of place right now. And again, like they might be engaging in destructive behavior. And for this person in particular, I'm getting the sense that it's when we're talking about destructive behavior, it might be like self-destructive. And it's particularly because this card says intoxication with destructive power. It could also it's just bringing to mind the idea of somebody who might struggle with substance abuse, or just like addictive behaviors that are self-destructive. And they might, when it says destroying others' dreams or potential, they might think that they're only hurting themselves. or they just might not either not be aware or not want to admit to themselves that their actions can be really upsetting or hurtful to the people who care about them. You know, and that's something that's a common theme in the recovery community for like addiction recovery, is, you know, I thought that would be like an addict saying, you know, oh, I thought that, you know, by holing up somewhere and drinking myself to death, you know, I was only hurting myself. But then, you know, my family, you know, tracked me down and they told me how much they cared about me, and I realized how much I was hurting them by giving into my addiction. So it's like there are ways where we might not realize or might not want to admit that our actions do hurt other people, even when we think that we're only hurting ourselves. So that's something that came up with this card. And again, like, I'm just getting the sense of somebody who might be in this destructive energy, and it might be coming from a place less of like maliciousness or not caring about other people, and more of a place of, again, I just like maybe not knowing how their actions are affecting other people, but I feel like they're moving away from that. I feel like they are taking conscious steps to move away from that. But the dolphin spirit card in particular does mention, again, like sometimes when we're in a transition, we have the full moon in Scorpio. It's Scorpio, a sign that is associated with the death card, which talks about ending one cycle and starting a new cycle. We have the full moon, the end of a cycle here. We have the number 9, the end of a cycle, and then we have the ace, the beginning of a new cycle. You know, and it's like that transformative energy of Scorpio. This person is trying to change. Because they probably recognize that this is unhealthy, and they might recognize that it's unhealthy also for the people who care about them. You know, it is their actions are hurting other people, whether they're just behaving in a self-destructive way, or if, you know, if they were doing something that was, you know, harmful to other people, they're trying to move away from that. But with this and that are true, it's like they might still be engaging in some of those behaviors or thought patterns that are related to this destructive behavior. Like, they just haven't fully come out of that energy yet, but they are trying to move towards change. And so it's like there's that duality of like, I'm still displaying parts of my shadow self, my shadow behavior, and I'm also actively taking steps to change that behavior, or change how I relate to people, or engage in self-care practices. Definitely, I would see that being associated with. We have the Hermit here, which is associated with Virgo. We have the 6th house, which is also associated with Virgo, because Virgo is a 6th sign, and this card talks about like our day-to-day routine and stuff. So if this person has been engaging in self-destructive behavior, particularly if it relates to something that could be in like under the umbrella of like addictive behaviors, I think they're trying to get things back under control. And so I just wanted to say, I thought that was kind of maybe a clue. If you know somebody in your life who you could say that this might apply to them, that, you know, this might be a clue for you as to who this person is that we're talking about. I also want to say we have, this person could be a water sign, particularly a Scorpio. We have the Ace of Cups. The dolphin I would associate with water, and we have the full moon in Scorpio, or they could be an earth sign or have significant earth placements, because we also have 2 Pentacles cards, and then we have the Hermit, which is associated with Virgo. I'd also associate the 6th house with Virgo. And then we have the first quarter moon in Capricorn, which is also an earth sign. So that might be another clue for you if you know this person's zodiac signs. But, you know, if not, then just take it however it resonates for you. And what I'm getting from the fact that these cards up here are the kind of like that deep blue kind of purpley color that is associated with the 3rd eye chakra is telling me this person, I think they know on some level that they have to change, you know, and I think that I don't know, maybe with the Hermit card and the 6th house, they might be trying to incorporate spirituality into their daily life. We have the 7 chakras on this card, and somebody meditating, somebody who's meditating on this card too. They could like be actively trying to engage in spirituality, as a way to get out of this destructive energy. Or it could just be saying this person is very, very intuitive, and they have like an intuitive sense of right and wrong, and they intuitively want to move away from their shadow side and towards releasing their negativity, being kinder to themselves and other people too. And again, with the energy of the tarot cards, I thought it was interesting we had the Page of Pentacles in reverse here, because the other cards are upright, you know, and it is a duality. It's like there's kind of a energy of somebody's trying to change, and they're kind of something's holding them back, maybe, or they're maybe just in that transitional phase where it's like we're trying to leave something behind and move towards something else. However, we're still kind of engaging in some of those old behaviors because we haven't established a new pattern yet, you know. So again, if that is something that is like a helpful clue as to who this person is, hopefully that is helpful. And then with the Four of Wands here, this card talks about celebrations, milestones, that feeling of safety and security, of coming home to something familiar. It's like saying like, yeah, I did it, I can celebrate. It can sometimes come up in terms of like with milestones, you know, if we're like moving back to our hometown, or you can talk about like even when, you know, when we're getting married and we're celebrating with the whole family. It's that kind of feeling. So this could be a clue here, again, as to who this person is. They might be somebody, the connection here to the shadow destroyer might be, this might be somebody who really likes to party. They might party too much in a self-destructive way, or in a way that causes destruction for other people. When I pulled this card, I saw the Berenstain Bears and Too Much Birthday. That was what came up for me, and that is a Mandela effect for me. It's like, I grew up with the Berenstain Bears. I don't know who these Berenstain Bears are, but yeah, so that was what came into my head when I saw this card. And that might also be a clue as to maybe where you know this person from, or how you met them. They could be from your hometown. They could be somebody that you met at a party, or somebody else's wedding, or some sort of celebration, or at a time in your life, maybe where you had achieved a certain milestone. This could just be a clue as to maybe how you know this person, or again, it could be saying that they like to celebrate a lot. You know, they really like being in this energy. This is their safe space, is this energy of celebration, and they might take it too far sometimes, and that might be something that they are trying to move away from. So I wanted to say that. And then with the Hermit card, again, this could be saying that this person might be a Virgo or have significant Virgo placements. And this card also talks about, you know, part of the duality. I think this person is doing self-reflection. Because that's what this card can talk about, is when we take time and like carve out time, make time to do some soul searching. And to maybe gain some insight into our own behaviors, insight into what we need to do, self-reflecting. You know, if this person is trying to move away from this shadow destructor or destroyer, then it would make sense. They would have been like, okay, I was in this Four of Wands energy all the time. It was unhealthy. I'm going to pull back a little bit and do some soul searching about my behavior and try to figure out where to go next, or what to do next, or what to do about this, or why, you know, get to the root cause of why I'm behaving like this. And so that's why I think this person is trying to change. They are examining their behavior and prioritizing making changes in their life. But then we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse as the next card. And again, as I said, the Page of Pentacles is like that energy of not following through, not showing up, not being committed to something. It can also, this card can also carry a message that maybe with all of this Virgo energy, maybe this person is too detail-oriented. I don't want, it's too, that sounds very judgmental. I mean, like, maybe they're deep, but they're detail-oriented to a fault, like to a place where it's not healthy, where it's like, because this card can also talk about when we're so focused on the details of something, or like the little nitpicky things, that we can't move forward with it. It's like it has to be 100% perfect. All of the little detailed, little nitpicky things have to be 100% perfect, or I can't move forward. You know, it's that kind of energy, and that's why I was thinking this person might be standing in their own way. Either they've started this process of self-reflection, but they might not be 100% committed to it yet, or they might be like trying so hard that they're just not in an energy where they can move forward. Like they're standing in their own way, you know. And that kind of nitpicky energy might be like, that can sometimes be like a shadow attribute of Virgo. You know, with every sign, we all have you know, our strengths and our challenges, and that can be, I think, one of Virgo's challenges, is getting caught up in the details to the point where it's maybe another like unhealthy behavior, and I think that's why we have these cards here. The first quarter moon in Capricorn says, unleash your kindest self. This card is talking about like self-compassion, not being too hard on yourself, forgiving yourself for things that have happened in the past, being kind to yourself, and then extending that same compassion and kindness to other people as well. Like that's a message of this card, is connected with the solar plexus chakra, which is like self-esteem. You know, it's determination, willpower, and self-esteem. And so that's why I'm thinking this person might be thinking like they might feel a lot of guilt or remorse for this side of themselves. And they might be trying to like overcompensate with this Page of Pentacles in reverse. They might feel like they have a lot of amends to make. They have a lot of people to apologize to. They have just like a lot of changes to make. And it might be, they might really be kind of kicking themselves. And that might be part of this like standing in their own way kind of message that I'm getting with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So, and with it's time to release negativity, that might be talking about negative self-talk in addition to whatever is being represented here on the Shadow Destroyer card. It might be like this and that are true. You know, it's like they were engaging in destructive behavior, either self-destructive or destructive to other people, or both, and they were also engaging in a lot of negative self-talk, negative thoughts, perhaps about themselves and perhaps about other people, and they're trying to release that and focus on kindness and compassion for themselves and for other people. I think that's why this is here, or this is what Spirit is saying that they will be working towards, because they might still be in this energy here. And we have the Ace of Cups, and I think that this is specifically referring to how they feel about you. Because the Ace of Cups can talk about like that amazing like butterflies in your stomach feeling of when you meet somebody new, or there's like a new potential for an emotional connection with someone. It's the Ace, it's the first, the start, the beginning, and it's the Cups, the card about like emotions and relationships. And you know, there's two doves flying together at the top of the card there, and this person's like lovingly gazing into their cup. And I could see that this person would be looking at you that way. And you know, whether they're literally doing that physically in the 3D, or if that's just how they feel when they think about you, I think that this card here is specifically, this is how they're feeling about you. And I think that I'm not 100% sure here how realistic their feelings are, but I think they feel like there's potential in a connection with you, and that's because this card is upright, you know, and the Ace of Cups talks, it's like potential, it's a new opportunity. I think they're developing feelings, and that's why they've shown up today in this, you know, who has hidden or secret feelings for you. They've developed feelings here. And that's, I think, what this card is saying. And I think that's it, the feelings that they feel are genuine. But right now they're kind of in an energy where they're trying to shift out of old habits or old patterns. And they are genuine about that. It's just they're kind of like in a transitional phase right now. And then with the Seven of Pentacles, it's also an interesting message, because this person, they might be getting frustrated, is what I'm hearing with, you know, I think with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, they might not realize that they're standing in their own way here in some way. If they've been kind of like unintentionally sabotaging themselves by being too focused on the little details instead of what's the phrase that wants to come into my head? It's like it's something that my history teacher once said when I was in high school was, don't get it right, get it writ. It's like, you know, it's okay to submit an essay that's like B+ quality if you're gonna miss the deadline if you don't submit it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's yes, it's great to always go for that A+, right? But it's like sometimes you just have to do whatever you're capable of doing and then keep moving forward. You know what I mean? It's like it's accepting that not everything's going to be 100% all of the time, and I think that is hard. That's difficult for this person. They might be a perfectionist. They might be struggling with perfectionism, and I think that they're getting frustrated because they don't realize that their lack of forward momentum, whatever this means in terms of their life, might be coming from themselves. You know, the Seven of Pentacles talks about like just saying like when is it going to pay off? You know, I planted all these pentacle trees. Where are my pentacles? You know, where's my result from all of this hard work that I've been doing? And I do genuinely think they have been doing the work with the Hermit card here, and the sixth house. Like I feel like that they're working on it, but they're not working necessarily. How do I want to say? It's not that they're not working hard enough. It's that I just don't think that they realize that it's a process. You know what I mean? You know, it's like they're in this transitional phase, which is great because they are moving forward. You know, it's just they might think that they might have thought it was going to be easier. That's what I'm getting at, than it is. And you know, if we are talking about somebody with perfectionistic tendencies, they might not realize that it's that is preventing them from moving forward. When they could submit the essay when it's at a B+. And just accept that, because the alternative is to get a 0 on it because you didn't hand it in. You know what I mean? It's like they have to get past that. And that, again, might be related to whatever this negative self-talk or negative feelings that they might have about themselves. You know, I think that that's something that they're working on right now. That might be an energy that they are currently in. And then I didn't really talk about the sixth house of sustainability. I do think that this is interesting. This might also be a clue for you in terms of how you know this person, because the sixth house, that's so hard to say. It talks about things like our day-to-day routine. And like our daily life and our career and the things that we work on or see or the people we talk to every day. So again, this person might be from your hometown. This might be somebody that was part of your everyday life. This might be somebody that you know from work. They might be a coworker or you know, or somebody who works like adjacent to you, or you know, if you go to the same restaurant or coffee shop every day at lunchtime, this person might work there, or they might see you there, or whatever. That might just be an additional clue for you in terms of who this person is. And this could also be talking about what this person is working on, is like maybe creating a more structured routine, something that is more sustainable, instead of if they were in this shadow destroyer energy, they might have been in a kind of a more chaotic place, especially if they were partying all the time. Their life might have been a little bit more chaotic, a little bit less structured, and they might be trying to rebuild some sort of structure into their life right now. And it could be both, because this and that are true. You know, it could be both interpretations that would apply to this person. So that is what I'm seeing in the first part of your reading, pile 1. And now we will get into some more details about this connection, including whether there might be relationship potential here. Obviously, you have free will. You know, if you don't want to be with this person, that's 100% valid and totally up to you. And we'll see if any messages come out related to whether this person is planning to come towards you. So we'll see what comes out in the cards. So I will see you there. Okay, pile 1. So the interesting thing here for me is you might have a very good idea of who I'm talking about, who I was talking about in the first part of the reading, the dolphin spirit person. You might be thinking that you want to pursue a relationship with that person. And the message that I'm getting from your spirit guides is if that does apply to you and you know exactly who this person is and you're kind of interested in them, the advice I'm getting from your spirit guides in all of these cards here is pay attention to the red flags. I would find it hard to believe that there are no red flags when it comes to this dolphin person, because they might be trying to move away from their shadow destroyer energy. But with the cards here, what I'm seeing is they're not there yet. And with these cards here talking about a potential relationship here, the message is if you move towards them now, or even in the near future, it is not going to be what you want it to be. That's like the polite way to put it. There's a lot of negative energy here. The advice here, and I think it's important because my viewfinder keeps trying to focus on this moon, on the surrender to the divine. You might have gut feelings. Like, even if this person, if they have come towards you, or if they do in the future with their Ace of Cups, their cup in hand, you might have just gut feelings, thoughts in the back of your mind, things you don't want to acknowledge. You might be aware of some patterns of behavior with this person. They might be saying that they've moved away from that, or they're trying to change, and they are genuinely trying to change on some level, but they're not in a healthy place yet. They're not in a place yet where they can approach a relationship and find a balance, have an equal exchange. They're just not there. And I can't tell you if they will ever be there, but the message from Spirit is twofold. It's pay attention to the red flags, which could just be your gut feelings. Maybe you have a voice in the back of your head telling you, like, it's just giving a little subtle warning symbol. The moon card talks about that, and then we have surrender to the divine with this third eye kind of energy. Spirit might be trying to draw your attention to certain things that might just not feel quite right about this person, and they're doing that on purpose. And there's a message with these cards here, and this Five of Cups here. There's plenty of other fish in the sea. There's plenty of other dolphins in the sea. You don't need to put all of your hopes on this person. The Spirit's saying this is probably not going to work out the way you want it to with this person, because of them. It has to do with who they are and where they're at. But please keep shining your energy. Time for beginner mind, like, just embrace that the new moon energy of there's so much out in the world. There's so much other potential stuff out in the world for you, that I think Spirit doesn't want you to get hung up on this person. So I felt really compelled to give that, because it was like, this is like a big warning from Spirit. This spread here it's not like, oh, maybe things could work out, or like this, there's like a mixture of things, or like we don't have the Lovers or the Two of Cups or the Ten of Cups. There's nothing like that here. There's an imbalanced, unhealthy relationship, whether it might be deception, lies, lots of anxiety, sleepless nights, and a big disappointing ending. That's what these cards are talking about. So I just feel like I have to give that warning, you know. And then the advice from Spirit up top is just like, again, it's that pay attention to any intuitive feelings you have, gut feelings about this person, because they're there for a reason, and there's plenty of other people out there who are not in an unhealthy energy, who are not currently embodying their shadow side. Like this person is with the dolphin spirit. This and that are true. You know, they might have genuine feelings for you. However, they're not in a healthy place where it's a good idea to pursue a relationship with them. So I wanted to say that. It could be that you don't know who this person is, or you might have had somebody in your mind when I was talking about them in the first part of the reading, but they've never approached you, or just you've never thought about them that way, in which case this again would just be, you know, just like a warning from Spirit if this person comes towards you. Just to really pay attention to what your gut feelings are telling you about them, because there's a million other people out there, you know, who would probably be just a better fit for you. So I wanted to say that. And I actually want to talk about the Astro Dice first, before I forget. Because I think, again, this is kind of, this combined with the advice for you from Spirit is giving me the impression that and the tarot cards, giving the impression that maybe the original interpretation of the Page of Pentacles in reverse, I was talking about somebody who is just not committed, like they might have started something, but they're not committed to finishing it. That can be reflected here in these Astro Dice. We have Aries, the 11th house, and Neptune. Aries in the 11th house, not a bad placement, you know. If you have Aries in the 11th house, it's not a terrible thing, you know. But it just talks about somebody who is, you know, really making like a lot of new social connections, and it could be like the shadow side of that could be that you know, they're always looking for the next thing, they're always looking for the new thing, you know. And that could be the energy of somebody who is a Page of Pentacles in reverse. It's like always starting something new, that might not be the best at following through on that, you know. They might have like a large group of casual acquaintances, but they might always be like looking for the next thing, looking to meet the next person, you know. So this person could be feeling an Ace of Cups for you, but next week or next month or a few months from now, their Ace of Cups might be towards somebody else. And if you were to be in a relationship with this person, I'm not sure they'd tell you that with the Moon card there. Another alternative interpretation of why these dice are here, the Aries in the 11th house, could also be reflecting that message that there is always somebody new. There's so many people out in the world to meet, and Spirit just doesn't want, I think they just don't want you to kind of close yourself off to other connections if you were to choose to pursue this person. So I wanted to say that. And then Aries in Neptune is interesting because it can talk about somebody who is intense and impulsive. And that intensity can feel really good when you're with them. You know, this might be somebody who like love bombs a lot, but they're also impulsive. So it's kind of like that. Again, the energy of somebody who's jumping from thing to thing to thing without really maybe recognizing that they're not fully following through. You know, we had the genuine energy of the Hermit card of doing soul searching, right? But then we had the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and then we had the Seven of Pentacles. It's like this person might not realize that they're their own worst enemy, you know, when it comes to like finding a long-term relationship, if that's what they're looking for. And then Neptune in the 11th house, I think is again, like that's another reason why I'm kind of giving a warning about this person, because it can talk about learning a lesson about boundaries. Like that being like a major life lesson. You know, if you have Neptune in your 11th house, maybe learning a lesson about boundaries might be a major life lesson for you. And if this is if these dice are talking about a potential relationship with this person, then it's like saying if you know, you could learn a lot about setting healthy boundaries. It's like there's also other paths you could take. You don't need to go down this road. And so, so I wanted to talk about that first before I forget about that, and then I'll get into the tarot cards. So the Queen of Pentacles in reverse is another reason why I was thinking maybe the original interpretation of the Page of Pentacles being in reverse was more accurate. I mean, it could be that this person is also a little bit perfectionistic, but I'm getting, like with these Astro Dice and then this advice up here, I'm thinking that what I was saying about the Page of Pentacles reverse, talking about perfectionism, might actually apply more to you than it does to this person. I'm not sure this person is too bothered. They might have started down the road of self-reflection, but I just don't think they might have hit an obstacle of some sort and just given up. And if we're talking about who this person is, if you were to get into a relationship with them, who they would be in the relationship, they'd be a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And the Queen of Pentacles in reverse is lazy. They are materialistic, they're lazy, and they want other people to do the work for them. And in combination with the Six of Pentacles over here, what I'm hearing is you would be pulling all the weight in this relationship. You would be doing all of the emotional labor for this person. That might be a pattern of behavior for you. It might be something that you are trying to move away from, in which case I would say this is probably, again, regardless, honestly, this is an unhealthy relationship. But this might potentially, like when we're talking about a major life lesson about boundaries, it's like this person would be teaching you about needing to protect your energy, needing to stand up for yourself, like shine your light, like stand up for yourself and advocate for your own needs in a relationship. And it's like you could go through this and learn that lesson, or we could avoid that and just try to practice having healthy boundaries in our relationships without having to go through this, and find a balance. I just think that's interesting, because we have this balance energy with Libra, and then with Six of Pentacles it's like an unbalance. It's uneven. It's usually in a relationship talks about one person doing more than the other person, or being more committed to the connection than the other person, so it's just this, they would be a Queen of Pentacles in their current energy right now. And it's, we had that Page of Pentacles in reverse. It's like they might be exhibiting that behavior in situations where you might spend time with this person. You might have seen them exhibit some of that behavior. You might have just filed it away in the back of your brain and not really given it much extra thought, but it would come out in a relationship with this person. It would. That's what I'm seeing here. We have the Moon here, which is not a great card for a relationship reading, because it can talk about, again, it's like needing to trust those gut feelings. Something might feel off or wrong. You might suspect that somebody is cheating. You might suspect that they're like just going behind your back or whatever. You just have some suspicion, and it's like the message here is to trust those feelings, especially with surrender to the divine. And there's another message of this card. It's like, and as soon as I pointed out, my viewfinder focused on it again. There's like, yes, these cards are connected here. Like you would, if you were in a relationship with this person, you might start having feelings that their impulsivity, their need to move on to the next thing, they might have had an Ace of Cups for you, and then it's like their Ace of Cups is now for somebody else. You might have a suspicion about that. They're not going to tell you. Like, this is the energy, especially with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, of somebody who, you might confront them, or even just say like, listen, when you did that, it made me suspect this, or like, are you doing something that I should know about? Is something wrong? Like, are you giving me weird vibes, or you're hot and cold with me? Okay, can we talk about this? Is there something wrong? And they would just stonewall you. Like they would just, oh no, everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about, you know, or they might, as I said, like this might be somebody who does love bombing and just like is very intense with their feelings when they're with you. But then it's like, you know, it's like hot and cold or on and off. And like, you know, when it's off, it creates these feelings of anxiety. With the Nine of Swords reverse, this is, again, it's a very negative card to have in a relationship reading. It carries a negative message no matter where it is in a tarot reading, but with the rest of the cards here, it's like it's sleepless nights, anxiety, depression, horrible dark thoughts, not being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it could be being created by whatever's going on here with the moon. The moon's like illusions, deception, you know, that kind of thing. It would just create this horrible emotional and thought spiral for you in the relationship, and it would just I don't want you to be there. That's another reason why I'm like, this reading is a warning about this person. It's turned into it started out as a message about your secret admirer, and unfortunately has turned into a bit of a warning from spirit about a potential relationship with this person. And then I did talk about the Six of Pentacles, but then we're finishing off with the Five of Cups, and this has like a twofold message, because this is telling me this person on the cards is looking at what they've lost, and they're feeling like genuinely sad and disappointed, and maybe a little bit of grief and loss over whatever happened here in this relationship. And then there's that repeated message that we're seeing up here, that you still have two cups that are upright. This is not the end of the story. It's not the end of the road. There's other fish in the sea is what keeps coming into my brain. You know, there's other people out there. There's other potential. So, you know, it's like that kind of twofold message. This is going to end in disappointment, but it's not the only thing. You know, there's more. There's more for you out there. So that's what I'm seeing in the tarot cards. And then I did talk about surrender to the divine, and why I think that's here. Like, you know, you might be getting gut feelings or red flags about this person. You might have been filing them away, or you might have been ignoring them just because this person makes you feel really good when you're with them. Or it could be that you don't have much contact with this person. You might still be kind of not 100% sure who this is referring to. In which case, this is saying, if this person does come towards you, trust your gut. Trust your gut about this person, because there will be signs and warnings from spirit when this person does come towards you. So that's why I think it's important that this card is here, and that my viewfinder is trying really hard to, I don't know if there's like a face in there, but it's really focusing on this card. So I think it's really important. And then with the mouth spirit, which says, tend to the small things. That, again, is like echoing that red flags message. Like the gut feelings, the little subtle things, the subtle warning signs. You know, there's spirit's asking you to pay attention to that, the small things. Notice the details. And that's another reason why I was thinking, if we're going for like a perfectionistic kind of reading of the Page of Pentacles in reverse, that might apply more towards you than this other person. They might be embodying more of the kind of like non-committal energy of that card, and in which case, again, like I would just take this as like a direct message. The warning signs are there for a reason, you know. And Spirit really, really wants you to pay attention to the small things and the little things. And this card can also talk about when we're so laser focused on one area that we're not seeing the signs and symbols that are coming from a different source. Does that make sense? It's kind of like not, you know, sometimes you need to pull back. It's like not seeing the forest for the trees. You know, it's like if you've been in an energy like that, where maybe you have been like really looking for, or like over analyzing something, you know, Spirit's saying if you're looking for signs and symbols, and you've been like really kind of over analyzing and really looking for everything, they're just asking you to pull back a bit, I think, and it can talk about the signs and symbols that you need will appear when you stop looking so hard. if that is a message that is helpful for you, if that's something that somebody needs to hear, that might be a message there, especially if you have some perfectionistic tendencies. Otherwise, it's just a straight message about paying attention to your gut feelings. And then with a full moon in Libra, which says find a balance, I thought that that was interesting. I think it is related to the Six of Pentacles. I think that they're saying, Spirit's saying, they want you to find a relationship where things are balanced. You know, people are giving and taking in equal amounts. And this card can also talk about making sure that you're making decisions that are not being influenced by what other people want, and that you're like following your own intuition and your own heart, and like advocating for your own needs and making sure that you have a balance there. So I would definitely relate it back to the idea of you know, of healthy boundaries so that you can have healthy relationships. And then we have the new moon in Leo, which says shine, and I think that this is Spirit asking you to, and especially in combination with the porcupine spirit, which says time for a beginner's mind, they're asking you to kind of embrace an energy of having a good time, pursuing whatever creative pursuits are meaningful for you, and with the beginner's mind, like just having fun, like just going out, exploring, seeing what's out there, and again, it's just like a combined message that there's plenty of other amazing relationships that want to come in for you. There's plenty of other amazing people out there who would jump at the chance to be in a relationship with you, and when you shine your light out and share that with other people, it attracts the people towards you who are vibrating on your frequency, and it, you know, it might also attract this person, but you're being warned about this person. So you know, but it will attract people who are more in alignment with like a healthy relationship for you, and then yeah, so again, it's just like a reminder, you know, that there's plenty of other things out there, and then there's going to be something out there that is fulfilling for you, that is balanced, and that lets you shine your light in the relationship at the same time as the other person does. And then the porcupine spirit also has a message about you know, in combination with what I was saying about the mouse spirit, if you were resonating with the idea of not being able to see the forest for the trees just because you're so detail oriented, it can be hard to kind of like pull back a bit. The beginner mind can talk about like getting a fresh perspective. So there might be a need to take a step back from whatever is happening for you, however this applies to you, even if it's like you've been trying to see red flags in this person, or maybe you've been focusing so much on the positive aspects of this person that you've been missing the things that Spirit's been trying to show you. You know, however that applies to you. This could also just be general advice, you know, for you from your spirit guides. Might be taking the opportunity to just give some general advice here. When you pull back and detach a little bit emotionally from whatever we're talking about here, you might be able to get just a higher perspective that might allow you to, like, it might be easier for you to really see the big picture in terms of this person, this potential relationship, or anything else that's going on in your life where you feel like those things would apply. So that's what I'm seeing for you today, pile one. And if you are interested in finding out about this person's true and honest feelings about you and what they find attractive about you, then head on over to the extended reading, which will be posted in the description of this video, and I hope to see you there. If you liked this video, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below, let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 1, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 2 and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Starfish Spirit, this is going to be your reading. For today we are going to take a look at your secret admirer. So this is going to be somebody who has secret or hidden feelings for you. I'm operating under the assumption this is a romantic feelings, like a romantic secret admirer. We'll see what comes up. If the person that I'm describing sounds like somebody that you know, and you know that they don't have romantic feelings for you, then, you know, just take it however it applies to your specific situation. Otherwise, you know, I am working under the assumption that this is a potential romantic connection of somebody who has feelings for you. So, that the feelings that they have not expressed to you, or that maybe, honestly, it could be a past connection. I don't know. We'll see what comes up in the cards. And so this is going to have an extended reading, my first ever extended reading. The link to that will be in the description of the video. In this part of the video, we are going to be taking a look at who this person is. This is this spread right here. Who is this person? The next section of this video is going to be about the relationship potential, like a potential, you know, if you did decide to get together with this person or they come towards you, like what would a relationship with them be like? And then in the extended reading, we're going to take a look at their true and honest feelings about you, and specifically what they find attractive about you. So if you wanted to do that part of the reading, again, the link will be in the description, and it will be on Patreon. So if you would like to support my channel, that's an excellent way to support my channel, or just check it out, see what it's like. I would really appreciate that. That would be awesome. But don't feel obligated. This, you know, just however you engage with my videos is amazing to me, and I really appreciate it. So I wanted to say that at the beginning of the video. And I want to say I'm seeing something interesting with your person here. First of all, I think that these oracle cards up top are describing this person's like core personality traits. I think that they might be a fire sign, particularly an Aries or a Leo. They might have a lot of fire in their chart, or this could just be like just describing their typical energy. And then I think these tarot cards are describing like their current situation, like what they're currently kind of processing and dealing with, which is interesting because it seems like they're like going through something right now. They're processing a difficult situation. It could be, I'm getting the sense it's either related to a friends group, or it's related to a romantic relationship. Either way, I think that they're processing some sort of betrayal that happened here, and they are working on it. Like I think they're not like avoiding whatever happened here. I think they're in a stage right now where they're maybe going through a bit of a tough time in their personal life. However, this I think is their core personality. They're, I think, somebody who typically does look on the bright side. I think that they have a vibrant personality. They're probably pretty outgoing. And I think that, again, like with the Starfish Spirit being like a core part of their personality, and it says open to infinite possibility, like nothing can keep this person down for long, even though I think they have really gone through a tough, something difficult, emotionally difficult here in the cards here, a tough betrayal or a deception of some kind, that it has been hard. They've learned kind of a hard lesson here, but they're giving themselves time to process what happened, and again, like I'm just getting the sense from these cards up here, nothing can keep this person down for long. They just have like an innately positive attitude, is what I'm getting from this person, you know, and again, they seem to be probably somebody who is pretty outgoing, action-oriented, and I think that they love sharing their energy with other people. And you know, and with the energy of the Aries, number 1, a new moon here, the 59 reducing to 5 is a number of change. Like and if this is a core part of this person's personality, this is not somebody who's afraid to let go of something and move on. If something happened here that's not going to work out for this person, they're going to deal with their feelings about it and just especially with the energy of the Hanged Man, accept that it happened, and just move on. try to find something that is right for them. So it's a very healthy mindset. I also want to say with the colors, at least on like these first 4 cards, I think this person is very connected with their sacral chakra, which has to do, and especially with the message of the dilettante card, has to do with creativity. They might be very innately creative. It has to do with like artistic expression, and especially with the Eight of Pentacles, they might have an artistic hobby or like a creative career of some type. But they might be new to it, and they might be like just learning about it, or like learning on the job about it. The sacral chakra is also connected with our emotions. So like this person might be very connected to their emotions. Like I'm getting this sense of somebody who, you know, this person is not avoiding their hurt feelings over what happened here. They're taking the time to work through their feelings here. You know, and so I would see them being very connected with their emotional body. There's not somebody who avoids their feelings. The other connection with the sacral chakra is there is a connection to sexuality. So this might be somebody who you know, is able to, how do I want to say this? This is not an 18+ reading, but this might be somebody who they express themselves and are happy to connect with people through their sacral chakra, through intimacy, emotional intimacy, and perhaps physical intimacy. That might be like one of the ways in which they enjoy sharing their energy with people. So I want to say that. Again, you know, only take that if it resonates for you. You know, you might have a person in mind who kind of matches the description of what I'm describing here. In which case, you know, just take whatever applies to your situation. But I did want to point that out with a lot of like sacral chakra energy up here. So I am going to get into the tarot cards. Again, we're starting with the Eight of Pentacles, and this card, in connection with the dilettante, the light attributes, might be talking about somebody who is kind of like learning on the job. You know, the Eight of Pentacles talks about like hard work, commitment. You know, you can see this person's kind of like working in their little apothecary. They're like mixing potions, showing up every day, learning new skills, learning through practice. And it's a very committed energy. You know, this person is committed to showing up and learning something new. And in the story of these cards, what I'm seeing is this person might have either started a new hobby or a new job. They might be pursuing something in the arts, but I'm getting the sense that they do not have professional training, because a dilettante is somebody who, you can see the light attributes, it says, delights in the arts without having to be a professional, and it can typically describe somebody who is like an amateur, you know, who might not have basically they might be pursuing something where they don't have any like formal education in whatever they're doing, and it's like kind of like a learning as you go kind of energy, which I think this person is like very excited about, you know, with these core personality traits. I think that you know, this person's just having fun. You know, they're doing it because it's something that like really sparks their creative interest. And so what I'm getting in the story of these cards is this person wanted to try something new or learn something new, pursue an artistic expression of some kind. It might have something to do with work. Eight of Pentacles does talk about work, so they might have started like a new career in something creative, or just like took up a hobby as an amateur of something that like really sparks their creative interest, they feel passionate about it, and so what I'm seeing is the next card is the Seven of Swords, which is not a great card in any spread. And here in combination with the Three of Cups reversed is kind of telling me they might have started something new with the Eight of Pentacles or been pursuing something here, learning a new skill. Like it's that kind of thing. And again, perhaps related to the arts. However, they're an amateur at it, or they were like just very new to it, or they might have thought they found a friends group. That's the message coming through the Three of Cups reversed is sometimes this card can be talking about like you know, a third-party romantic situation. I'm getting the intuitive message this is probably more to do with a friends group. Because that's another connection with the Three of Cups, talking about like celebrating with friends. I think this person might have thought they found a friends group or a soul tribe, related to whatever this Eight of Pentacles, like whatever they were working on here. And they didn't realize that these people were deceptive in some way. And the Seven of Swords, a card about deception, betrayal, people stealing or lying, basically just people in your life who have bad intentions. Like I just don't think that, like, this person has such a bright, positive attitude. You know, they're so open, especially if they have an open sacral chakra, like they really want to connect with other people. I just think that this person kind of had the rug pulled out from under them. They didn't realize that this friends group did not have their best interests at heart. And with the second half, the light attributes here, it says, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. I don't think they realized that they had encountered a group of people who were superficial. And until they realized that they had been deceived or betrayed or backstabbed in some way, it could be that this group of people was very gossipy, or like just very superficial. And I just don't think that this person realized that until they did. You know, like until something happened that actually like really hurt this person's feelings. I just think that they kind of went in with this like really positive, outgoing, upbeat attitude, and with they wanted to meet new people in this hobby or this thing that they're pursuing, and they just didn't realize that basically, I'm getting the sense of, when I was pulling these cards, I was getting the sense of like Katie Heron in Mean Girls, who is just, she just didn't have the social skills to know that, like just how willing the plastics were to betray and backstab, like just how malicious, like there might have been like a Regina George, you know, and I just don't think they had the knowledge. And with the Hanged Man, it's like this person has accepted that it was not their fault. They don't blame themselves for whatever happened here, which is, again, I'm getting the sense they're dealing with this in a healthy way. You know, they have a healthy perspective on what happened here, especially like with the Hanged Man and the Five of Cups, like they're processing what happened here, but it was painful, you know. And again, I'm just getting that message. This person might have thought that they found people that they had a lot in common with, or they were like really excited about this group of friends or this group of people. And when this Seven of Swords happened, like this underhanded, shady behavior, when they discovered that, like, I just think that it really hurt. I feel for this person. It's never easy to deal with a situation like that. But again, I think they are kind of handling it to the best of their ability. Again, I'm just getting this is a story about where this person currently is at. And then this is like their personality. So, again, a message of the Hanged Man is like when we recognize that there are circumstances beyond our control, you know, and sometimes all we can do is surrender to the fact that we are where we are, we're in the situation that we're in, you know, and we can control the things that we can control and take responsibility for the things that we are responsible for, and just leave the rest, you know, kind of up to the universe. It is kind of a message about surrender and acceptance to whatever circumstance we're in, with the knowledge that when we're ready to move forward, we have the ability to do that. And that's definitely something that this person is really good at, is like embracing, okay, I'm gonna give myself the time to feel my feelings about whatever has happened here, and then I know that, you know, this Hanged Man has the key to their padlocks in their hand. You know, it's like when I'm ready to move forward, I will. But right now, the circumstances, you know, are what they are, and I need to deal with it. So again, like that's just like a very solid energy. You know, this is somebody who knows how to handle the things that happen in life, you know, and in a healthy way. So I wanted to say that, and I know I did talk with the Three of Cups in reverse. There are like several messages with this card, and the thing that came to my head when I saw it was, the party is over. At least in some sense, but at least maybe with this group. this particular group. You know, it's like they were having a fun time, and then until they realized there was a Seven of Swords going on. This card, as I said, it can also talk about a romantic connection. Like it could be that this has nothing to do with a friends group. It has nothing to do with the dilettante or the Eight of Pentacles, and that this is just saying this person is very hardworking and very committed to whatever they're currently working on right now, and they recently got cheated on. You know, with the Seven of Swords and the Three of Cups reversed, it could be they recently got cheated on, and they are taking the time right now to kind of feel their feelings about that, with the Five of Cups. And I do think it's really interesting that, you know, the message of the Five of Cups is usually like, 3 of your cups have spilled, and 2 of them are still upright. So it's okay to be upset and grieve and, you know, allow yourself to process the loss of these 3 cups, while still acknowledging that you still have 2 cups that are upright. And again, like, I'm just getting the sense this is somebody who really likes to look at the bright side. You know, who yes, they're going to give themselves time to deal with the loss of these 3 cups. You know, and I do think it's interesting. It's 3 cups. These 3 cups reversed. Like I think it's wine on these, like it's spilled out of these 3 cups, you know, and they gotta, you know, this person's even looking at this card, like, you know, they have to give themselves time to accept what happened here, which they are with the Hanged Man. However, there are still 2 cups that are upright on the table. All is not lost, and this person is great at shifting their perspective. Like just having a broader perspective, which is another message of the Hanged Man, you know, is you know, seeing things from a different perspective, because you know, don't typically hang upside down like that. So when we are, it can give us a chance to kind of see the world at a different angle. And I think when this person is ready, they're going to turn around and they're going to feel grateful that they still have these 2 cups here. So they're going to feel grateful that, you know, they have whatever they have, that they're still building their skills or pursuing their hobby or doing something artistic that really brings them joy and that they really do enjoy. They're going to accept that they just fell in with the wrong crowd of people, or that, you know, if there was a romantic connection here, that it was just the wrong person. And they're not going to let that hold them back or keep them down or prevent them from pursuing the thing that they want to pursue, because it's just an innate part of their personality, is to look at the bright side, and to accept that, you know, whatever happened here was not their fault. You know, it was somebody here had bad intentions, and unfortunately it was this person, your secret admirer, who ended up getting hurt. But they're not going to let that, again, they're not going to let that hold them back, you know, and I think that is admirable, you know, regardless of whatever else we end up finding out about this person in the next part of the reading. I do think that is an admirable trait. This is, again, probably somebody who is emotionally mature, definitely, and emotionally connected. This person's not running from this loss. They're giving themselves time to process it. So, I just thought it was just like a very interesting story that we're being told in the cards here, about like what has recently happened for this person. And it could be that, you know, that you might know, like, recognize when I talk about the Oracle cards, you might have an idea of who this person is and have no idea that this is something that they were currently going through. Like, I'm not sure that they do seem to be somebody who is open and who is, you know, outgoing and probably has a lot of friends or a lot of acquaintances, big social group. They might not have shared this with you, or they might, you know, you might have a good idea of what this is referring to, but you know, but I wanted to kind of share that to give some context as to where this person, like, this is their current energy. And again, the good news is this person's, when they're ready, they're like, nothing's going to hold them back. You know, they're not going to internalize whatever happened here and let it contribute to poor self-esteem, because they know whatever happened here was not their fault. It's not on them if somebody, you know, betrays them or deceives them in some way. That does, you know, it doesn't speak negatively about this person. It's totally on whoever deceived them or betrayed them. So I guess just like a very healthy outlook, you know. You know, I just think that with the starfish spirit being like this core part of this person's personality, they're always open to infinite possibility. When I saw this card, like something that popped into my head was the concept of like the quantum theory. Is it string theory? I don't remember which. It's something to do with quantum theory about like multiple universes and like infinite multiple universes. You know, it's like the concept of dimension jumping, of like, you know, doing a mirror dimension jump, which honestly I have done that in the past and it worked for me. So I just want to throw that out there. But like that might be something that this person believes in, is the concept of infinite multiple universes. That might be one of the reasons why, like, they're just open to infinite possibility, and they know that they have infinite mirror universes where, you know, where they have infinite positive outcomes for whatever they're doing or working on. This might be somebody who does manifestation work, like quantum jumping or two-cup manifestation, or they might actively do that, or they might just have like an innate sense that that, you know, that their own positive attitude helps bring them the things that they want and deserve in life. Like they just might naturally be very good at manifestation, is what I'm trying to say, because they just know that there's an infinite number of universes where they already have the thing that they want, you know, if that makes sense. And what's interesting is the starfish, we have this Aries energy, and then the starfish spirit says open and infinite possibility, and there's also a message with this card about stepping out of your comfort zone. And we have this new moon energy, the number 1 on the Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So I think this person is always willing to try something new. They're always willing to kind of, and it could be that this 8 of Pentacles this was them stepping out of their comfort zone. And, you know, I could see how if this person wasn't so emotionally mature, whatever betrayal happened here might have really shut them down, you know, because it was, you know, they're stepping out of their comfort zone. They're trying something new, which is like something that's like a skill that they have. That's something that they really enjoy doing with their life. And they got kind of, I just heard like slapped in the face. Like they got, you know, kind of shut down by whatever betrayal happened here. However, because they are so emotionally mature and emotionally connected, able to deal with things like acceptance, surrender, it happened the way it happened. It was really painful. I'm going to process my feelings about it because it really hurt. However, I know that all is not lost. You know, I'm going to keep moving forward, because there's infinite possibility open to me. I'm going to continue to shine. Nothing can keep me down. I'm going to, you know, it's at the Aries energy of acting, of moving forward, of a new beginning, a new cycle, a new moon. You know, I'm just going to keep moving forward. I'm going to close out this cycle here. And when I'm ready, I'm going to keep moving forward. And that's a beautiful energy. You know, when the starfish, the number 59 reduces to 5, which is the number of change. And I think this person's really good at accepting that change is a part of life. You know, that things change, circumstances change, you know, and they're just really good, and they're good at like transmuting and harnessing that in order to grow and evolve from whatever happened. And you know, this is the 5 of Cups, the 5 on the starfish. They're not going to let this hold them down. So I thought that was really interesting, you know, and then with the Aries and the new moon in Leo. Again, this person could be an Aries or a Leo. I'm just getting the sense of somebody who's very outgoing, very active, always willing to try new things, very adventurous. They might be coming out of this like either now or very soon. You know, I think they're just kind of like processing their last feelings about whatever happened here, and they're ready to start a new cycle. They're ready to start, move on, let go of whatever needs to be let go of, so that they can accept they still have 2 cups and kind of like move on. And you know, and I think this is somebody who's probably loves challenging themselves. And that's probably why we have this Eight of Pentacles energy. It's like this was a challenge and they've committed to it. You know, they're challenging themselves in some way to step out of whatever their comfort zone was. You know, and I think that, again, this is like a core part of their personality. It's like, I just heard like they're comfortable outside of their comfort zone, if that makes sense. Like this is somebody who enjoys challenging themselves. And with the New Moon and Leo, the shine, I think that they are, as I said, like probably pretty outgoing and social. I'm getting a sense of somebody who really enjoys sharing their energy with other people and probably has a pretty big friends group or wants to have a big friends group. And that might have been part of what happened here. You know, I'm not sure that they were really looking critically at the people they were spending their time with. And it just, you know, when there was a deception or betrayal, it like really hurt them. You know, because they're so genuine about wanting to share their energy with other people. However, again, as I said, like they're not going to internalize that. They know that it wasn't their fault. So definitely very healthy energy there. And then again, with the dilettante, the light attributes of the dilettante here, I think that they also, because they're open to infinite possibility, they understand that sometimes the things that spark our creative passion, we don't need to have like a higher level degree in whatever that is. We can learn on the job. We can develop those skills, and we can do it just because it's fun. Just because we delight in the arts. When we don't need to be like have professional training or have this or that. You know, we can do it just because of the challenge of it. And I think this person has learned a lesson that maybe other people who pursuing the arts, pursuing whatever creative thing we're talking about here, might be superficial. Other people might bring that superficial energy towards whatever this is that we're talking about, and they don't have to. You know, they don't have to do that. And so I think they've kind of learned a lesson about that. And like other people might not be coming to it with their same genuine passion for whatever the thing is. There might be some like really pretentious people, you know, in whatever the thing is that they're pursuing. And I think they've kind of learned, or they're learning right now, how to avoid those people so that they don't end up sharing their energy with people who don't deserve it. So that's what I'm seeing for the first part of your reading, pile 2, in terms of who this person is. Hopefully this resonated for you and you can think of somebody who would match this description. But in the next part of the reading, we are going to take a look at like the potential of a romantic relationship between the two of you. What would a relationship with this person be like? And maybe get a few more clues as to who this person is. Maybe if you're not 100% sure, we will take a look at that and we'll see what comes out in the cards. So I will see you there. All right, pile 2. So I want to say, first of all, that I promise I do try to get the cards into an alignment on the screen, and then every time I open my editing program, I'm like, they couldn't be more crooked. So if you're a stickler for that kind of thing, I apologize. So I wanted to say, I think it's interesting. We do have some interesting energy here, and I'm just getting the sense that like your spirit guides are really taking the opportunity, I think, to communicate with you right now about things that would be helpful for you to work on if you want to have a successful relationship with this person. And that's based on you. Like, it's based on what you want. Because this reading isn't saying, you know, whether, like, how you feel about your secret admirer. If you know who this person is, if you recognize them from the first part of the reading, or have like a good idea of who that person might be, you know, it's still up to you whether you would want to pursue something with that person or not. I mean, we're working under the assumption, obviously, since they have, you know, secret or hidden feelings for you, that they do want to pursue something with you. What I'm getting from this is there's lots of information from Spirit in terms of, again, like things that you can work on to ensure that this is going to blossom into the kind of relationship that you would want to have. And one of the major messages here is to go slowly. So I wanted to say that, and it's like, you know, I was trying to read this, you know, when I was pulling the cards, the question I was asking is, you know, what would a relationship be like between pile 2 and their secret admirer? The information in this spread is making me believe that what we actually have here is we have the King of Wands as the first card, and I would just take this as like Spirit confirming, like, yes, we're talking about this person, you know, because the King of Wands is associated with fire signs, particularly, you know, Aries and Leo, and we did have the Aries and Leo energy in the previous part of the reading. We also have the first quarter moon in Aries here, and Aries in the Astro Dice. So, you know, I would take this as confirmation that we are talking about this person, whether or not they are a fire sign. I would say that as we have Aries sun here, they, you know, there's a good chance they might be in Aries or have significant fire placements, but that might not be true for everybody, so only take that if it resonates. Again, I would just take this as confirmation. Yes, we're talking about this person, you know. And then we do have Pisces here, and I'm not sure if I mentioned in the previous part of the reading that I also associate Pisces with the Hanged Man, which we did have in the previous part of the reading. So this person might also have a Pisces placements, and I would also associate Pisces with that, like the artistic kind of energy of a dilettante archetype. So this person again might have Pisces placements, or they could be a Pisces Aries cusp, which would be interesting. But again, only take that, you know, if that resonates for you. I thought it was interesting. We have a lot of like Aries energy, and then the King of Wands here. So I wanted to point that out. But again, like I'm just it's like this. The Spirit's saying, yes, we're talking about your secret admirer. However, I believe that the next 4 tarot cards here are about you. They're about you and your energy. And I'm saying that for like a couple of reasons. One of the significant reasons, though, is because otherwise this spread doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Just, you know, just being honest, like, you know, the way that I'm being called to read this is like, we have this King of Wands here who would be your counterpart in this relationship. It takes 2 to have a relationship. This King of Wands, also the fact that it's the king tells me that like this is basically just confirmation. Like this King of Wands has all of the personality traits that I was talking about in the previous part of the reading. You know, they're fun-loving, they're outgoing, they have a big social group, they're not afraid of change. You know, they have that kind of like Aries, like go-getter kind of energy of like, I want to see what's out there, I want to have an adventure, I want to, you know, go and do things and see people and try new things. And I don't have to be an expert at everything because I'm just here to have fun. You know, I want to see what the world has to offer, which is, you know, associated with all of the fire signs, and they're also, because it's the king, there's also a mature energy, you know, and I was getting that from the previous part of the reading of somebody who is very emotionally mature, you know, even though they have this kind of like fun-loving energy, you know, when things happen in their life that are painful or upsetting, they're able to process that in a mature way, and then I was also getting that you know, with this person very connected with their sacral chakra, they might be like very connected with their physical body, and you know, the Aries, the 6th house, and the sun is talking to me about somebody who takes very good care of their body, and is very interested in just like a healthy routine, maintaining a healthy routine, and you know, and I would also kind of associate that with the sacral chakra as well. So basically, this King of Wands is like a confirmation of most of the stuff we were seeing when we were asking about who this person is, which is why I'm like, this is this person's energy, right? And then we have every figure on the next 4 cards is a female figure with long dark hair, and so what I would see there is like this represents this person's counterpart, regardless of gender. You know, this person could be female, you could be male, you could both be the same gender, you could be like any gender, and it doesn't matter because we're just talking about counterpart energy. But I did want to point out, it's like we have this person represented here, and then we have somebody else being represented on these 4 cards. So that's another reason why I'm just giving the interpretation. I think this is your energy. And this spread is less about what would a relationship with this person be like, and more about like, they're ready to go. You know, this King of Wands is upright. Like they're totally ready to have like an awesome relationship. You might not be as ready. That's a message I'm getting here, and it's being echoed by all of these cards up here. And again, the message here is kind of like a two-part message from your spirit guides. First of all, to take it slow, because the things that need to develop here are going to take time. And also, like, they're recognizing that you might, only take this if it resonates, but they're recognizing that you might feel like you might have been single for a long time, or you might not have had a fulfilling romantic relationship for a long time. You might feel like you've been waiting for so long for, a counterpart to come in, or for, the right connection or the right relationship, and you might feel like you've had to go through all of these 10 swords to get to this cycle. There's reassurance from Spirit here. The end of a tough cycle approaches. You are approaching the end. The 10 of Swords is that this is the last sword, and that before you start the new cycle. Right? And so it's like, this is what I heard when I pulled this card was, that the night is darkest before the dawn. But the dawn is coming. It is inevitable. We can't stop the dawn from coming. The sun is going to rise again. Even though it might feel right now like you've just been waiting forever. And you might be losing hope. You might be feeling like, you're never going to have the kind of relationship that you want to have. And I would take this both as, confirmation from Spirit that you will, it's coming. The end of a tough cycle is approaching, and it's also validation from Spirit that this has not been easy for you. The process of, trial and error with new people, or going through like a series of bad connections, or just even if you haven't been seeking out a connection, just, feeling like, where's my person? Like, Spirit keeps telling me that I have a counterpart, or somebody's coming in for me, or so where are they? Or you might be saying like, I'm really interested in this King of Wands, whoever they are, but like, why hasn't this connection developed the way that I wanted it to? Why hasn't it worked out yet? And I will say, I was kind of getting an interpretation when I first saw the spread. I was getting kind of maybe an intuitive message that for some of you, if you recognize the person that I was talking about the first part of the reading, this might be somebody that you might have had like a previous connection with, or like a previous situation with, that might not have developed into something yet. I also want to say, like, if you resonate with the idea of a twin flame, if you're watching this reading and you do resonate with that idea, and you would identify the person I've been talking about as maybe a twin flame partner, I could understand that as being connected to this spread here. So I just wanted to say that before I forgot. If not, don't worry about it. That's only going to be for some of you. But I did want to mention that because that can be, one of the reasons why we have the 10 of Swords here, is because there's like that feeling of, maybe you recognizing this person as your counterpart. However, it hasn't materialized into the relationship that you want yet. And again, there's a message with the 10 of Swords, like you're almost there. You're almost there. Spirit's recognizing that it's been tough, and it is tough. However, with the 9 of Pentacles, there's a message here that you have probably already been working on focusing on yourself. And particularly if this resonates for you, you might get a lot of messages in tarot readings about Spirit wants you to focus on yourself. They want you to focus on your career. They want you to focus on your abundance. Your person's going to come in when you're working on your job instead of focusing on a relationship, etc., etc., etc. So if you have been hearing those messages a lot, and you have been like trying to focus, on developing your career, your creative project, however that means for you, like focusing on your pentacles more than a relationship with somebody. This is the 9 of Pentacles is telling me that that Spirit's recognizing that, and that the 9 of Pentacles, the message of this card, outside of a relationship reading, can just be like when we've planted this tree of Pentacles and it's blooming. It's it's ready to be harvested. Whatever we have put our time and energy and effort into is paying off, and it's paying off in a large amount of abundance, and that can be financial abundance. So this could be Spirit's recognizing you might be either like be in a period of time right now, or when this person, because they are interested in you, and I could see, you know, with that Aries energy, that I could see them making a move, you know. So I think that, you know, this person might come towards you when you are in a period of abundance. So there could just be like another confirmation messages. If you've been hearing that a lot, you know, that could just be an additional confirmation from Spirit. If you are in this place now where you can see that the things that you have put your energy towards are starting to, you know, to return to you, so it's starting to get your rewards for whatever you have been putting your energy towards, and then the harvest is coming in, then I would say that, you know, this could just be like, they're saying, like, we recognize you're at the Ten of Swords, you're almost there, the Nine of Pentacles is coming. And it's because you've earned it by, you know, closing out this cycle. I do also want to say, like, in a relationship reading specifically, this can also, you know, if these cards are here to describe what a relationship with this person would be like, the Nine of Pentacles is like, it's a healthy energy of like a relationship where both people have their independence. You're not codependent, you're not enmeshed with the other person. You have like separate finances, and like a strong sense of, we can have a healthy and strong relationship, a partnership, and we also have separate lives. You know, we have like separate friends groups, or separate, again, like separate careers. You know, we can both focus on our own pentacles, you know, and be abundance, our abundance on our own. What am I saying? We can focus on generating abundance separately, and then coming together and having a strong partnership together, like emotionally, if that makes sense. So, like, again, like, this is just giving me the sense that, like, you might be either in a phase right now or just coming out of a phase where you might be like feeling sad and lonely, and maybe a little bit like, come on, like, where's my person? I've been waiting for so long, you know, and you might be starting to lose hope that this person is coming towards you, you know, and then with the Nine of Pentacles, it's like you might be shifting into a place where you're like, well, if this person isn't coming here, if they're not here yet, if they're not here, I'm going to focus on myself. And I'm going to get myself to a place where I feel like I don't need a relationship to have this beautiful, abundant Tree of Pentacles, and I can sit in my little lounge chair, you know, with my snack and my wine and my book, and I can enjoy myself here, even though this person or whoever, you know, you would want to be your counterpart, even though they're not here yet, I can still be happy being in this place. And I can focus on that positive feeling, those positive feelings. And this is it's like a positive energy, you know, to be in. And that's kind of why I'm saying, like, I'm not 100% sure if this is describing what a relationship with this person would be like. Because, you know, that's not necessarily in alignment with their personality. You know, like, I'm not 100% sure that if you go in a relationship with this person, you're going to be feeling a Ten of Swords. You know, that doesn't really make sense to me, especially with a King of Wands. You know, like, just feeling alone, feeling lonely, feeling like you're on your own and you can only focus on you. Like, this person would want to do stuff with you. They wouldn't want you to feel lonely. They're incredibly dependable and loyal and fun-loving and would want to spend their time with you, you know, even in like a healthy interdependent way and not a codependent way, you know, but still, it's like, this is a very independent energy, you know, like, this is energy of somebody who's focusing on their career right now, you know, it's that kind of, which is not a bad thing. It's just, you know, I'm just getting the impression this is your energy. This is not about this relationship. Spirit's taking the opportunity to talk to you about your energy instead of giving us answers about what a relationship with this person would be like. So I do want to apologize. Like, sometimes I ask a question or I set an intention for a reading, and Spirit just does its thing. It does its own. Like, your spirit guides just have a different message, or something else that they want to talk to you about. So I do want to say, like, I apologize. Sometimes it can be frustrating when that happens, when Spirit just like takes the reading in a different direction. However, at the same time, I'm it's my own personal opinion that those messages can be important for people who are watching, and so I usually just go with the flow of whatever Spirit is telling me. So I did want to say that. And then I mean, it's interesting. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse here and the Two of Swords in reverse here, and again, it's like I'm not sure this is talking about this person's energy. Maybe if it was the Knight of Wands, this would make more sense to me. But I'm not getting the sense. Like, I would say if this was talking about what a relationship with your secret admirer, who's being represented here by the King of Wands, if this is talking about what a relationship with them would be like, the King of Wands does sometimes carry a message. If you are not the type of person who always wants to go on adventures, who always wants to try new things, who you want to go to like the new restaurant in town, the new activity, the new, like, let's go skydiving, let's go have an experience we've never had before, let's and the King of Wands is not necessarily somebody who wants to, if they're make a suggestion, for like a date idea, or let's go out and do something. They don't necessarily love it when their partner is like, no, I'm tired. I've had a long day. I want to sit in my garden and read my book. So if you are not necessarily vibing with the energy of a King of Wands, which is totally okay. People have different personalities, and that's totally valid. It can be very fun to be with a King of Wands, but sometimes, that's not necessarily the right energy for us. If that's the case, then I could see how this might relate to a relationship with that person, because they might always be like it might cause tension in the relationship to feel like your partner is always pushing you to step out of your comfort zone all the time and go do new things all the time, when that's not part of your personality. That's not something that you enjoy doing, and that could lead to, I could see like a Ten of Swords, like feeling like you're just not on the same page with that person, and they might choose to go out and do the thing without you. Anyway, and it could be like this kind of being separated from a partner, being very independent energy of these two cards can be, I could associate that with like trying to make a relationship with a King of Wands work when a King of Wands is not the right energy for you. Even though you might really like this person, and there's nothing wrong with this person, it just might not be that compatible with who you are. Especially if you're the type of person who likes to do what this person's doing on this Nine of Pentacles. Not to say that a King of Wands wouldn't also enjoy that. They just might want to do that much less frequently than you, if that is resonating for you. And if that's the case, then these two cards, I think, regardless of how you're interpreting this reading, again, these two cards are like they're talking about your energy, and how you would feel. And the Seven of Wands in reverse can talk about like when we're starting to realize that whatever we're putting our time and energy towards might be a more difficult challenge than we had prepared for. It can talk about like the Seven of Wands upright can talk about like choosing to continue to keep going on a difficult path, usually it's like a positive way. It's like we're gonna like fight and stand up for something, because we recognize that we're gonna work towards something that we deserve and something that we really want, despite the odds, despite the obstacles. When it's reversed, it can say the odds and obstacles are much greater than we had anticipated. I mean, it might be time, it's up to you to make that choice, but it might be time to throw in the towel. Like, it might be time to say, like, okay, like if it's this difficult, this might not be the thing for me. And it would be up to you to make that choice or make that decision. But with the Two of Swords reversed, that might be something you might be reluctant to do. There's an energy here of like moving forward might be much more difficult than you thought it was going to be, Two of Swords reverse, making a decision about what to do here might be much more difficult than previously expected. And the Two of Swords reverse can be like a stuck or a stagnant energy. It can be an energy when we have to face a choice. You know, people might be waiting for us to make a choice or a decision, and we're avoiding it, and sometimes avoiding it to the point of like our own detriment, if that makes sense. And you know, and so you know, if we were talking about what a relationship with this person would be like, if a King of Wands is not for you, or if this particular person, even if you would like to be in a relationship with somebody who has some of the same archetypes of a King of Wands, if this person's personality, if there are some other incompatibility here, and you're still trying to make it work with this person, you know, the Seven of Wands reverse could be saying you might, you know, be receiving some like gut feelings, intuitive messages from Spirit, like so just some idea that if you're happier focusing on yourself when in a relationship with this person, the idea might be occurring to you that this is not for you. You might be avoiding it because you really like this person. Does that make sense? And it's like, but it's to your own detriment. You know, it's not healthy or helpful to stay in that energy. You know, it might create a feeling of being stuck. If that's not resonating for you, or if you feel like, you know, my original interpretation that this is talking about your energy and Spirit, is the stuff that Spirit wants you to work on. If you're resonating with the idea that there is something in your life, maybe related to your career or something, so something that might be like totally unrelated to this person, but you might be just going through a cycle right now, especially with the Ten of Swords, where you're realizing that like there's this, you have 10 swords in your back, like whatever you're working on or putting your energy towards has not gone the way you wanted it to, and there might be a need to accept that, so that you can make a choice and you know, like turn this Two of Swords upright to give yourself the time to kind of process where you want to go from here, so that you can like pivot and choose a new direction, something that's going to work for you. However, there's a lot of advice in these oracle cards to take your time. You don't need to make a decision tomorrow about what you want to do next. However, Spirit also doesn't want you to stay stuck in whatever this is. Like there's I think a need to accept that whatever this Ten of Swords represents, whatever like ending is happening here, it's happening so that something new can come in. The end of the tough cycle it will end. We have a new moon and then the first quarter moon. Like it's going to end and something else will follow. You know. So again, like there might be separate messages for different people watching. But you know, again, if we're talking about like a relationship with this person, it can talk about you. Maybe this King of Wands is a really good person. They might not be for you. And this can talk about somebody who's trying really hard to make it work, and just getting to a place where they're like, I don't know if this was the right thing for me. It can also be, if you're not resonating with that, it can also, again, it can be like, yes, this person is a King of Wands. Spirit wants you to focus on this stuff before they're even going to tell you what a relationship with this person would be like. You know, and I also want to say, like in the previous part of the reading, this person also has just gone through something, so they might not be totally ready yet for a connection or to come towards you, even though they are interested in you. That's why they're showing up in this reading, you know. So you know, there could also just be a message here just to take it slow. Spirit wants you to focus on yourself and your own abundance, and making sure that you are engaging in whatever self-care practices you need to engage in, because that's, you know, that's the most important. You know, we can attract a very healthy relationship when we're taking really good care of ourselves. You know, because it also, you know, tells the universe, like I'm taking really good care of myself. I'm showing the universe how I want somebody in a relationship with me to take care of me and to prioritize my needs, and how I I also want them to take care of themselves so that I don't have to be, codependent with that person or take like a caretaker or whatever. So, I could see that. And then, there might also be a message here that there's something in your life that you might need to face, and might need to face this idea. If you've been resisting this Ten of Swords, there might be, something here, and I think you'll know how and if that applies to something that's currently going on in your life. There might be something here Spirit wants you to address. And if you feel like you don't know how to move forward, or you're like really confused, I did want to say, when I was looking at the spread, I felt a lot of how do I put this? It's like sometimes when you get like a sinus headache and you just feel like there's like cotton shoved in your sinus area, which also happens to be where the third eye is. I was feeling like really confused and cloudy and a lot of pressure on my third eye area. So that could be communicating that you might have felt like, you don't know where to go, or then that can be associated with the Two of Swords reverse. Like, it's just like confused. Like, this might not be the way forward for me, but what do I do in that situation? And if you're resonating with that message, then I think there's lots of advice for you up here in the Oracle cards. So, I have talked about the full moon in Capricorn, which says the end of a tough cycle approaches, and I do think that's very related to the Ten of Swords, because this is the end of a tough cycle, and it's aside from the King of Wands, it's like the second card in the spread, so it's coming, the end of the tough cycle is approaching. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles afterwards, which is a positive message. The Nine of Pentacles is a positive message, so it's this is ending. This is reassurance from Spirit. You're not going to be in this energy forever. And this, if you do have a connection with this person, even if it doesn't last, or it doesn't turn out to be like the best relationship ever, or whatever, if it turns out this person is not your intended counterpart, this is still an opportunity to close out a cycle, and to release things that need to be released. So that could just be confirmation from Spirit in that sense. I do want to say we have this Capricorn energy, and we have the Nine of Pentacles here, and then we have the Koala Spirit, which 35 reduces to 8. 26 also reduces to 8. And 8 in numerology is a number that is associated with hard work, the physical world, our connection to like the material world, and particularly generating monetary abundance. Like the 8 is a very good number that is associated with money. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I think there's also reassurance here from Spirit. If you feel like, you haven't seen the payoff from something that you've been working on, particularly if it is related to your career or money or your financial situation, this I think is also like, these cards there's a message here that's reassurance that your hard work will pay off. It is paying off. You will close out this cycle, whatever it is, and you will have your Nine of Pentacles, however that relates to your situation. So I wanted to point that out. And then after this full moon, we have a new moon in Pisces, which says attune to the divine, and then the first quarter moon in Aries, which says step into your power. And what's interesting is I think this Koala Spirit and the new moon in Pisces are very related, and this step into your power and embrace the in-between are also very related. And what's interesting is that I didn't, I just laid them out like that, but it's like we have a pair here and a pair there. So I thought that was cool. If you were resonating with what I was saying with attune to the divine about, your spirit guides are with you. They are trying to help you. I'm being drawn to this raven, or the crow on this card. I associate like ravens and crows as spiritual messengers, and when they appear on a card, they can tell me like your spirit guides are with you. We have one here and one on this Two of Swords here. It's like, and with this one I could see if this bird is like cawing at this person, like its mouth is open. It's like Spirit might be trying to communicate with you, but it's currently being blocked. It might be being blocked, by your own emotions or your own I heard like spiritual noise. It might be a situation, and this happens to me sometimes. Like, I think it happens to everybody who tries to meditate sometimes, where I just like, I'm trying so hard and I feel like I'm not getting what I need out of the experience, or I feel like, I'm trying really hard to communicate with spirit or to get some sort of answer, and it's not coming through. And for me, it's something that is a lesson that I have learned over and over, and I'm just going to probably have to keep learning because, I'm only a human being. But something that I have been learning is it's when I stop demanding answers that they come. So it's like this might be just saying, just try to find a place where you can have silence that is as absolute as possible. I realize if you're like living in a big city or you live with other people in your house, that might not be 100% possible, but just try to go somewhere that is as quiet as you can make it. And like without any meditation music, without any guided meditation, without any distraction, again, as much as possible, to just sit, and instead of asking a question or asking your spirit guides for help or like setting a specific intention for that session, just sit in the silence. And I realize that it can be really hard to meditate this way because whenever I do it, my thoughts wander all over the place because I don't have anything to focus on, But it's like it's just that practice of just show up, sit in the silence, and try really hard to bring your thought, like when they wander, and they will, just to bring your thoughts back to your breath. As much as you can, and let go of the need to have a clear answer. That might be helpful for you. That's something that has helped me. I have had breakthroughs by doing that method, instead of like just going into whatever meditation or exercise I'm trying to do in order to connect with my spirit guides and get a specific answer about something. I tend to have my breakthroughs when I just sit in silence and I'm just going to focus on my breath. And it's like when I let go of the need to have the answer, a pathway becomes clearer to me. So I don't know if that's helpful for you. That was something that was coming into my head when I was looking at this card. And then with the koala spirit has a plan. When I saw this was what was giving me the impression you might already know this person. You might have had a previous connection or a previous situation or something with this person that might not have worked out the way that you wanted it to. And it can also be, if you're interpreting this as this is what a relationship with this person would be like, because there might be incompatibilities with this person. The idea with Spirit has a plan is that there might still be a reason why this person has developed feelings for you. There might still be a reason why this person might come towards you, and there might still be a good reason for you to say yes if this person does come towards you, because there might be things here that Spirit wants you to explore. Or if you're not resonating with that message, then I would say that like Spirit has a plan, attuned to the divine. They've been trying to help you. Whatever we're working on here, they have been trying to give you some guidance. And I would take this as reassurance that there is a divine plan for you. There is a path forward for you. Spirit does want to help you figure out how to move forward, how to close out this cycle, where to go from here. And part of that might just be needing to be in a more receptive energy, if that makes sense. So, this I could just be like reassurance and confirmation. Spirit has your back. They have a plan. You're not going to be single forever if that is something that you've been resonating with. You're not, it is really good to be in this Nine of Pentacles energy. However, you can also be in this energy and have a really rewarding relationship with somebody else because you are, coming to the relationship with a full cup. You filled your cup up on your own, and then you can have a beautiful Two of Cups relationship with somebody because you both have a full cup to offer to the other person, if that makes sense. And Spirit's plan for you is to have the kind of relationship that you want and that you deserve to have, like the kind of a really healthy Two of Cups sort of relationship. So Then we have the first quarter moon in Aries, which says step into your power, and the flamingo spirit, which says embrace the in-between. And that's part of the reason why the initial thing I said at the top of this spread was to take it slow. Don't rush yourself. That's one of the messages here. Even though you might have been in this Two of Swords energy, or this might be like something that might happen, you know, if you were to pursue a relationship with this person, you might be in a situation where you're like, I don't know what to do, and I want to avoid the situation because it's causing too much anxiety, or it's like I don't want to accept that whatever this is not working out the way I wanted it to. There's something in the in-between, between the end of this tough cycle, and the new cycle, the new moon, like between the full moon and the new moon, in this in-between phase, there's something there that's important, the Spirit wants you to work on staying in the present, embracing the present moment, embracing the situation however it is, embracing the fact that there's a Ten of Swords, that, you know, the night is darkest before the dawn. However, the dawn is going to come. It's inevitable. It is inevitable that the sun will rise again. You are not going to be in this energy or this phase forever. There's going to be a new moon. There's going to be the sun coming over the horizon. And just for today, let's focus on where we are right now. Let's focus on accepting whatever this Seven of Wands reverse is talking about, so that we can turn this Two of Swords upright and give ourselves the time and the patience to take a real honest look at where we are, sit in our patient, silent energy, so that we can communicate with Spirit, attune to the divine, so that we can hear the messages Spirit has been trying to relate to us, and to figure out how to move forward in a way that is in alignment with our purpose. And I did want to point out that this first quarter moon in Aries, step into your power, this is associated with the solar plexus chakra. There might be solar plexus exercises that might be helpful for you to do. The solar plexus is about like will, determination, and self-esteem. And it would definitely be connected with stepping into your power. You know, if there is some message here about like needing to reevaluate something that you're working on here, it might be that an important part of that is reminding yourself that you do have power in this situation, and working on prioritizing yourself and what your needs are. And that could be another message that's associated with the Nine of Pentacles. And I want to say like one more thing before I move on to the extended reading pile too. With the Aries in the 6th house, and the Aries sun in the 6th house, again, there's going to be confirmation this person might be an Aries, or they might have like significant Aries placements. I think that they, regardless of whatever their zodiac sign is, they just might have a very like Aries kind of personality. You know, it could be as though they were an Aries sun sign, even if that's not their actual sun sign. And then, you know, with the 6th house, it could be saying that this person like really takes very good care of their body and their health in a way that is like really incorporated into their day-to-day routine. This might be somebody who like works out a lot, or you know has a very like healthy kind of lifestyle. And with the 6th house, this could also be a clue as to how you're going to meet this person, or where you know them from, if you do recognize them. Could be like the 6th house is like related to like your everyday life, your day-to-day routine. You might know this person from work, or you might know this person from, if you are somebody who you go to a gym or you do some sort of physical activity, that might be where you know this person from. And then also with the Pisces energy and the dilettante card in the last part of the reading, that might also be a clue for you as to like how you know this person, or you know where they first saw you, or where they met you from, and you know, it might be when you were doing something artistic, pursuing an artistic hobby, or even with Pisces energy, it could have been something spiritual, like pursuing a spiritual hobby in some way. So I just wanted to say that as some additional context there. And with that said, I am going to move into the extended reading, and that we'll be taking a look at their true and honest feelings about you. And then we're going to take a look at what do they find attractive about you, and that's just going to be a little bit of an ego boost from this person for you. So if you're interested in watching the extended reading, the link will be in the description. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 2. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below, let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos, you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching Pile 2, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Turtle Spirit, then this is going to be your reading for today, all about your secret admirer. And so in this first part of the video, we're taking a look at who this person is. This is intended to be a person who has hidden or secret feelings for you. It is intended to be romantic, but as with any reading, just take whatever resonates for you. This part of this spread is about who they are. The next spread is going to be details about what a relationship with this person would be like, and then some advice from your spirit guides. And then in the extended reading, we are going to be taking a look at their true feelings about you and what do they find attractive about you. I will provide a link in the description to that if you wanted to check that out. I will say two things. First of all, I apologize. I am filming this after taking a break to film a different video after I did Pile 2. So I'm going to try my best to remember everything that I did for the other piles, and it is going to be a longer, more in-depth video. And then I also want to say that the extended reading is also going to be about the same length as this video. So if you wanted to check that out, that would be great. I would really appreciate that. But as always, there is absolutely no pressure. With that said, let us get into the reading today. I do want to point out a couple of things that stood out to me right off the bat before I get into the cards. First of all, something that's coming through loud and clear is this is somebody who does not like to ask for help. And they might be coming to a point in their life, if this is a snapshot of their current energy, they might be coming to a point in their life where they're realizing that they need help with something. And I think right now they're working on their throat chakra. Like they're working on how to ask for help, how to not let their pride get in their way and ask for the help that they need. Because I think that, you know, they're beginning to realize that they can't keep doing everything on their own. That's not serving them. And it goes against if the turtle spirit represents their true nature, it goes against turtle spirit to try to do everything on your own or to take on too many burdens. I wanted to say that off the bat. I also wanted to say we do have a lot of energy related to like Leo, and specifically like the Strength card. We have this full moon in Leo. We have the Sun card, which is also associated with Leo because Leo is ruled by the Sun, I believe. And then we have this Dignified card, which says Strength, and it is connected with the energy of the Strength card. And the Strength card in the tarot, sorry, it does have a lion on it, so it is also associated with Leo. But it does have the energy of the Strength card, and it's also, the energy of the Strength card is also something that I would associate with the turtle spirit. It's like the energy of acceptance, of not forcing, of having faith in divine timing, and knowing that you will get where you need to go whenever you need to be, like whenever you're supposed to, if that makes sense. Like it's like the not forcing. You know, the energy of the Strength card is about having strength and not needing to use that strength to force your way through a situation, if that makes sense. So there's lots of connections to the Strength card and to Leo energy. So this person could have could be a Leo. They could have prominent Leo placements. But you know, just take that however it resonates. I just wanted to point that out because I also thought that was interesting. And with that said, let's get into the cards. So I for the other piles, I started with the tarot cards and moved up into the oracles. For you guys, I feel compelled to start with the oracle cards because you know, this is talking to me like this is the essentials of who this person is. The tarot cards are a snapshot of what they're currently going through, but I think that these cards are, they're like a foundation, if that makes sense. So, and especially this child orphan archetype, I think this is really important. It's like the key to understanding this person and their motivations right now, like where they currently are right now. And this card is saying, it's the light attributes. It's saying, independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. So this person, they might be a literal orphan. They might have grown up without parents, or something might have happened to their parents. It's child, so it's probably happened in their childhood. They might have been raised by other family members. They might have been in the foster system, or this might also be something that is related to more of an emotional level. They could have grown up with parents. You know, they could have not been like a literal orphan, and might have been more. There might have been more like emotional neglect. So it might have been a situation where they were still very much alone and left to fend for themselves, but it might have been more on an emotional level rather than an actual physical level. And either way, I think it created the same type of trauma, where this person, I think that they had to learn how to rely on themselves at a very young age. I think that it had a traumatic effect for them in terms of I think it's like way outside of their comfort zone to rely on other people. I think that they do not like to feel vulnerable, that they probably have some root chakra stuff. I think that they might have a blocked root chakra where they don't necessarily have a sense of belonging. This card can talk about not feeling like you belong to a family or to a family unit or to your, again, you might be in a family, but it's like a family in name, not in spirit, so this person might have a feeling like they don't belong anywhere, and that might create a situation where they feel like they have to constantly be proving themselves because they might not feel worthy. There might have been like something happened in this person's childhood that their emotional self interpreted as abandonment or rejection, and it was not their fault. Something happened outside of their control that caused them to be or feel alone. And again, I'm just saying, like I think this is the key to understanding this person. So if that's resonating for you, and you have an idea of who I might be talking about here, I will kind of move into the rest of the cards. I think that this person, again, like they're in a place right now. This was what this card is talking about. They're in a place right now where they have the opportunity to align themselves with their true nature, play to their strengths, use their voice, again, to bring themselves into alignment, if that makes sense. I mean, I am being drawn to the, it's kind of like the root to the crown kind of ascendance in color there of like alignment. Like that things are coming into alignment for this person, and it's an opportunity for them to climb the ladder and claim this throne. And I'm still learning about astrology. These are astrology cards. And the planet in a dignified position, I believe that means that the planet is in a sign or a position that really aligns with that planet's core values or core attributes. So, for example, when the sun is in Leo, for example, because the sun rules Leo, so that would be a dignified position for the sun to be in, if that makes sense. That's just an example, or at least that's an example of my understanding of what this card means. And so there's when this card comes up, it's saying like, okay, now is the time. Now is the opportunity. This is the time to play to your strengths. And one of the strengths of the turtle spirit is that energy associated with the strength card of stepping into your power and assuming your responsibility, and also understanding that you do not need to force situations to turn out a certain way, if that makes sense. And there's a saying associated with the turtle spirit that is, you are a human being, you are not a human doing, which I thought was really profound and a good reminder, I think, for a lot of us. But there is an energy here of, and I think this person is used to taking on too much. I think that they're used to again, like feeling like they need to prove themselves. You know, and it goes against their true nature. This turtle spirit represents who this person really is, you know, their authentic self. And I think that unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond their control, they have kind of maybe internalized the idea that they always have to be doing something. They always have to be moving forward in some way, you know, or it's like everybody will see that I am not worthy, or I'm not worthy of love, or I'm not worthy of security, I'm not worthy of safety, I'm not worthy of receiving anything. It's that kind of energy that's coming through here, and I'm saying that because of the messages in the tarot cards down here of where this person currently is. Again, like I just think this is somebody who got really used to doing as a way to have a temporary boost to their self-esteem, because they have a deep-seated insecurity, and it's related to their root chakra. You know, they did not have the support that they needed when they were a child, or when they were growing up, when they were younger, and it created this insecurity and this constant need to be working and doing and providing and creating, because they were not provided for when they should have been. But again, the good news for this person is they're reaching a time right now where they have an opportunity. Like these two cards, I think, are related to, you know, this message down here. This is an opportunity right now for this person to reclaim their authentic self by using their voice. And this card, the first quarter moon in Gemini, speak your world into being, is an interesting card. It does have the symbol of the throat chakra on it. And I think this is related to this person is coming to a point where I think they're realizing that they need to ask somebody to help them with something. They need to speak up about something. And whether that is asking for help carrying things that have become too heavy for them, whether that's, you know, just speaking more of their authentic truth. If they need help with some sort of substance abuse issue or addiction they might be going through, that could be a message here. If they need mental health help in some way, which they might need some help with healing something going on with their past that is causing them some distress. You know, I think they're just coming to a realization right now where they're realizing they need to use their voice. And that there's a message of this card that your voice matters. And this person might have grown up thinking that their voice didn't matter. They might not have had any say in what happened to them as a child. Like it could have been, you know, the children don't have a ton of power, you know, and it could have been they had maybe a preference of what they wanted to do, or where they wanted to go, where they wanted to be, and they might have been in a system where it's like all of their choices were taken away from them, and they felt like they had no autonomy, and so there was no point speaking up. And it could have been a situation where, you know, they knew that their needs were not going to be met by whoever was responsible for meeting those needs in their life, and so they got very good at making sure that their physical needs were taken care of on their own, conquering fear of surviving, like physical survival, and just they might have shut down their emotional needs because nobody was taking care of them. And so they learned, like, why speak up about that stuff when nobody cares, you know, and that's very sad. That's you know, and by speak your world into being, yes, this is connected with the energy of manifestation. You know, that's one of the methods of manifestation. It's one of the ways to create a world in which you already have the things that you need and want, is by literally speaking them into being, believing that you are where you want to be, and that helps manifest that reality, to put it that way. And so this person, I'm not 100% sure that they fully believe in the active manifestation, and that's why I'm kind of, you know, giving it maybe an alternate interpretation of this card, but I think with Speaker World into Being, I think that this might be a message for them that they might be working on their throat chakra and learning that when they ask for help, they are in a position right now where they will receive that help. They can speak their world into being, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with this card. And then we have Don't Let Pride Get in Your Way with the full moon in Leo. That's a pretty clear message, I think. You know, and I think that this person, like, they have this hard turtle shell that they've needed. It was a survival mechanism. They needed it when they were a child, or earlier in their life when they were vulnerable. They needed to have that shell. It helped save them. It helped protect them when they needed it. They're now in a place in their life where it is causing more harm than good. That is what is coming through. And so even though they might feel very proud of themselves in the way that they have managed to survive a horrible, unfair situation where they didn't have what they needed when they were vulnerable, you know, and that's something that they should be proud of. That took a tremendous amount of strength to be able to do that. However, I think that they're in a point in their life where they have to learn to let other people in. They're going to have to learn how to be vulnerable in order to move on to the next phase, move on to the next cycle, continue their growth in whatever way that, like, this is, I think, the current lesson that this person is in the midst of learning or right about to learn is, I need to put my pride and my ego aside and speak up about something that I feel vulnerable about, because this is the opportunity for me to do that. The stars are in alignment. We're in a dignified position, and I need to use my strengths to speak up about something. And it could be that this person is a very good communicator, and they might have, they might be very insightful. You know, they might be somebody who really had to learn to, and especially with the Six of Pentacles here, they might be somebody who loves giving advice to other people, but has a hard time accepting or receiving advice. It's like this person, I think they always want to be giving and sharing, and that they don't like receiving, because being in a receptive position makes them feel vulnerable. It makes them feel small. It makes them feel powerless. And they don't like that feeling. That's a very uncomfortable feeling for this person. You know, they're the turtle, right? They have that shell, and they don't, like, all of their squishy insides are inside that shell. And you know, they don't, it's like I think, have interpreted that as life-threateningly scary. And so part of their current life lesson right now is learning to let the right people see their squishy inside bits, so that they can accept some of the help and advice and whatever else they've been giving to other people, so that they can receive some of that back when they need it. If that makes sense. It's almost like a practice what you preach kind of energy that you know, that I think this is like what this person's currently working on. So that's what I'm seeing in the oracle cards, and then that's a message is definitely being repeated down here in the tarot cards. What's interesting is with the Sun reversed and the Four of Wands reversed can both carry a message about that's kind of like related to good things are happening. You know, like there's things to be happy about, things to celebrate, things to feel positive about, and this person is struggling to look on the bright side. I think they're struggling with their perspective. And it could be that they're aware that they are not as happy about something, some success, some milestone, some achievement. They're not as happy about it as I think that they feel that they should be. And it could be because of issues related to this child orphan card up here. It could be because of things related to this Three of Cups reversed. For some reason, there's something that is blocking the full effect of the positivity that could be associated with the Sun upright and the Four of Wands upright. You know, it's like there's something here that it's just not as satisfying, and their perspective is a little bit skewed. Because with the sun upright is whether it's reversed or upright, the sun is a positive message. It's about literally positivity, and it can talk about like successes, things that we really want, getting a yes from the universe. And when it's reversed, it's usually the message is those things are happening. You are being successful. There are lots of things to feel positive about, but we can't see it right now. Like our perspective on it is blocked. The way that I think about it is the sun is behind the clouds, right? So the sun is still there, you know, but we can't see it. There's something about our perspective is blocking us from seeing the beautiful brightness of the sun. And there is another interesting message here with the sun reversed. Can also talk about when the party is over. And it can talk about, there's also this card definitely associated with celebrations and parties, and the Three of Cups. It's just, there's kind of an opposite message here. This is when the party is over, and it was a great party, and it like nothing went wrong. It was fantastic. You know, the lights have come on. We've cleaned up all the decorations, and now we're going home to rest. It's like that beautiful feeling of like, that was a great party, and I had so much fun. The Three of Cups reversed is when either the party is over and we want to keep partying past the point of self-destruction, or the party was really bad. You know, there's not much to celebrate, but it's like the party is over and it's a good thing. The party is over and I just want to keep partying, or the party is over and it's a bad thing, if that makes sense. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting parallel here. But I do think the main message of the Sun card reverse for this person, I think, is related to their perspective. And they might be struggling with their mental health right now, just putting that out there, particularly if they are dealing with substance abuse. I don't know 100%, and I wouldn't say 100%, but if that is something that is resonating for you, I also want to point out that the symbol of the throat chakra is like, this symbol in particular looks a lot like the Alcoholics Anonymous coin or medallion. It's like the circle and then the triangle and then the circle inside of it is a symbol that is also associated with Alcoholics Anonymous, even though I think the triangle is like situated differently. But I do want to, if we're saying speak your world into being, there could be a connection here where this person, and when I say they realize they need help with something, it could be that they realize they need help with some form of substance abuse. It could be associated with this Three of Cups reverse. So I'm just saying that, just, take that however it resonates. Then we have the Four of Wands reversed. And this card is interesting because, again, it's about like something that should be positive. It's like this can talk about coming home to family, or it could, actually both these cards have a message about coming home to rest, which is interesting. But it's like the Four of Wands is reversed, it can talk about like a milestone or a celebration, something where it's supposed to be a very happy occasion. There is something to celebrate, but there's something missing. It doesn't feel as fulfilling. It's not as perfect as we wanted it to be. And an example of that would be, if you graduated from your university program and it was really hard and really long and you're very proud of yourself, but then your parent gets sick and they can't come to your graduation ceremony. It's like that feeling of like there's still something to celebrate. It's still a positive moment in your life, but it's not exactly the way that you wanted it to be. It's that sort of feeling. So I think right now this person is like struggling, and they could be struggling with perfectionism. 100% I could see somebody who had this person's personality and background struggling with perfectionism and struggling with acceptance as well. And, as we say in recovery, life on life's terms, which is about like life is going to happen. you know, and sometimes when we try to force things to be a certain way, or we get upset because things aren't exactly the way that we wanted them to be, things aren't working out exactly the way we wanted them to be, maybe our recovery is not exactly the way we want it. It's like one of the core lessons of recovery that you know, in my own anecdotal experience, is, you know, that it doesn't solve all your problems right away. You know, it makes it again, from my own experience, it gave me the ability to handle my problems and cope with my problems and perhaps start solving them on my own. But it didn't make everything better immediately. You know, I still had huge issues that I needed to work through. It was just when I was in recovery, I was able to do that work in a way that I wasn't able to do when I was in active addiction. So there could be another connection there. Just again, you know, take that however it resonates for this person. And then I did talk about the Six of Pentacles and why I think it's here, because this card can, you know, especially in combination with the other energies we have here in this, especially the Ten of Wands, the Six of Pentacles can talk about an exchange of some kind. It can talk about an exchange of money or an exchange of energy. And, you know, 6 is a balanced number. However, this card can talk about an imbalanced exchange. So that can sometimes talk about like, and it's not necessarily negative, you know, it can talk about like giving to charity, or when somebody, you know, is very generous with us, with no expectation of return, you know. However, with the energies here, the way I'm being called to interpret this is this person is very used to giving, and they're not in an energy where they like to receive. I think that this person, you know, look how happy this the person, you know, helping and giving and sharing is on this card. Like, I think that this is a major way that this person gets their self-esteem and their sense of security is by being able to help other people and give to other people, and provide for other people, and I think that really, again, like, it really is a big boost to their self-esteem. They might really like to take care of other people, but they I think do not like to be on the receiving end. And again, like as I was saying, like, I think that it's just like it taps into a deep-seated insecurity that this person has, probably related to their childhood. They do not like relying on other people for support. It makes them feel insecure. And I think this is something this person is coming up against right now. And I, you know, hopefully they will be able to, you know, put their pride to the side, and speak up for what they need and advocate for themselves, and do the throat chakra work that is needed here. But, you know, I can't say which way this person's going to go. I guess we'll see in the next spread. You know, when we're talking about what a potential relationship with this person might be like, and some advice from your spirit guides, there might be messages that come out in that spread about, you know, the likely outcome for this person, whether they're likely to make these changes or not. You know, obviously this person, you know, can decide to do whatever they're going to do, you know, and we don't have any control over that. But, you know, we might be able to get some information about what the likely outcome is there. But again, I don't, based on this spread, I'm not 100% sure. Like, again, this is just like a snapshot of where this person is right now. So they're like on the verge of needing to learn a lesson about advocating for themselves and needing to be vulnerable and speak up about a vulnerability that they have in order to receive the help that they need. So that's a hard thing for this person. It goes against their learned behavior. It doesn't go against their true nature. It is in alignment with their true nature, but it goes against the hard lessons that this person has had to learn. So I wanted to say that. And then we have the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands, it's not necessarily a negative message. There's not like so much absolutely negative stuff here. I'd say the most negative card in this spread is this Three of Cups reversed. But the Ten of Wands can talk about achievement, determination, hard work. taking on a lot, and it can also carry a message. You know, it can be interpreted as like encouragement from spirit, like you're almost at the top of this mountain. You're at the 10. That's the end of it's a full moon in Leo. You know, you're towards the end of something. But it's also, look how this person is struggling to carry all of these brooms or wands. Look how they're like, it's a lot. It's a lot for one person. And that's giving me the sense that this person is used to carrying more than their share. And that might be something that, again, that contributes to their self-esteem. It's like, it makes them feel worthy and strong and like they're contributing and like they have somewhere they belong if they're carrying more than their share, because it's like, I need to prove myself. I need to prove that I'm worthy of being here. And that's, again, it goes against the nature of turtle spirit. Turtle spirit knows that they belong in the world. They know that their voice matters. And they know that they don't have to do anything to prove that they deserve to be here. That's this person's authentic self. But because of circumstances that have happened in their life, they've internalized the idea that they have to carry all 10 wands up the mountain in order to be worthy of somebody's attention or somebody's love. And I think this is something that they're going to have to learn how to let go of in order to progress in the way that they need to progress. But, you know, it's just something that's coming up for this person. You know, they're no stranger to hard work. That is something that is associated with turtle spirit. It says slow and steady wins the race. You know, a turtle spirit person is somebody who knows that, you know, by putting one foot in front of the other, eventually they're going to get these 10 wands up this mountain. You know, they don't have to race anywhere, right? But this for me is an energy of too much. You know, and with don't let pride get in your way. It's like that this person needs to learn a lesson that if they do not want to carry all of these wands, they do not have to. Nobody can force them to do that. And there might be some self-esteem work that needs to happen here, so that they can get their pride from other sources that are healthy, you know, instead of blocking themselves from personal growth, because they absolutely feel the need. It's like an ego-driven need to kind of prove themselves in some way, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. And then again, the Three of Cups reversed definitely carries a message of, you know, the party's over, but I want to keep partying. It's like, you know, with the energy, like it is a pretty straightforward message about somebody who parties too much, or maybe struggles with substance abuse, or maybe, you know, they want the celebration to continue past its due, past its end time, and it could be that this is a coping mechanism for them. And this could also be, you know, it might not be like a full-blown, you know, life-ending or life-ruining addiction, but it could be a crutch that this person is leaning on too much. And the good news is they are in a position right now where they're in alignment to have this realization and to make a choice about how they want to move forward. Whether they're ready to be in a more receptive energy and get the help that they need for themselves. Now, if you're not resonating with the substance abuse message, this card can also be associated with like a third party in a romantic relationship. And because it's reversed, it can talk about this person might have recently been cheated on. You know, that might not resonate, but or it could even, you know, it could be something that happened in their past. They created a feeling of insecurity for them. And it might have contributed to, if they have abandonment issues, if they have fear of vulnerability issues related to their childhood, if somebody did cheat on them or there was some betrayal or deception here, they might have internalized, like that, it might have exacerbated these issues for them. And they might be reaching a point where they're like, I have to deal with this because it's affecting my ability to feel happiness. It's affecting my ability to feel joy and be able to celebrate positive milestones in my life. And with this Four of Wands reverse could also be they might have reached a point in a relationship that they were in where they were ready to take the next step. You know, as a message of the Four of Wands, they might have been ready to move in with somebody, or get engaged, or become exclusive, or whatever that milestone is. And then they discovered infidelity. That could have been something that this card is talking about. If that's not resonating with you, then there is a third message, and this is more of an intuitive interpretation. I do associate the Three of Cups with friendship, and like close friends groups and like soul tribe stuff. And when it is in reverse, you know, that might be a message that something happened with this person's friends group that that was very painful, and they might be dealing with that right now. So again, just take whatever resonates, and with that said, I am going to move on to the next part of the reading, which is going to be some information about a potential relationship with this person, and then some advice from your spirit guides about a potential relationship with this person. So let's get into it. All right, pile 3. So there are a few things I want to say right off the bat. First of all, when we asked the question about whether this person was likely to make the choice to ask for the help they need to make important changes in their emotional self and in their mental health, I think the answer to that question is no, it is not likely, at least not in the near future. And I think that you are being encouraged not to pursue a relationship with this person. Again, I don't have information here about you know, the things that are coming from your perspective. So I don't know how you feel about this person. And I don't, you know, if you're recognizing the person that I was talking about in the first part of the reading, if you know who they are, I think it is likely, what is likely to happen is they are likely to come towards you. They are, you know, they're a secret admirer. They have secret or hidden feelings for you that I think that it's only a matter of time. With the Knight of Cups here, it's only a matter of time before they do come towards you and want to pursue a relationship with you. However, there are a lot of warnings here about the way that a relationship would be with this person. And this, you know, the way I'm interpreting this is, you know, this is any time in the near future. This is how the relationship is likely to work out. And it's not a pretty picture. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be all doom and gloom, you know, and I don't know how you feel about this person. It could be that you do want this person to come towards you. It could be that you have feelings for this person as well, or you're interested in them. But your spirit guides are taking this opportunity to let you know that this is, the relationship might, first of all, it's going to be have a very negative impact on your mental health. And that it might be perpetuating an old pattern of behavior for you that is not necessarily healthy. And it might not seem like that on the surface, in the sense that, like this, I think this is an important disclaimer that I'm giving up. I will get into what each card means and why I'm saying this, but I think it's really important. The only card that is up right here is the Knight of Cups. And I think it's important that this, like the intuitive message that came through when I saw this card in the midst of all these other cards is this person might love bomb you. And they might say everything that you want to hear from a romantic partner. They might know exactly what to say to get you to let your guard down around them, to get you to feel comfortable being vulnerable around them, because as we saw in the first part of the reading, they like feeling like they are the one who is in the position of power. They don't like feeling vulnerable. They like being the one who's giving advice. They like being the one who's, you know, who's kind of controlling the narrative of what happens. You know, and I was interpreting that, you know, in a positive way, you know, not having any other information about this person. You know, I was interpreting that as like, you know, they may be very generous with their time and their energy. You know, however, this could also mean that they are the type of person who says everything somebody wants to hear and doesn't necessarily follow through. And especially if they're currently struggling with a substance abuse issue, some sort of addictive behavior, if they are struggling with their mental health, like there's not a lot of follow through here. And it might not be malicious. You know, I can't necessarily speak to this person's motives. It's just this is like saying all the right things, doing all the romantic stuff, and possibly, you know, with the sense that this person, you know, might be very intuitive about other people's emotions. They might know exactly what to say to you to get you to be open to a relationship with them. But they're not going to follow through. And again, it might not be, they might intend to follow through, but they're not in a place in their life where they have the capacity to deliver on the promises that a Knight of Cups would make, if that makes sense. And that's something that is being echoed here in these Astro Dice. We have Aries in the second house, and Aries and Venus in the second house, and this energy is telling me a couple of things, but it's saying, like, it's kind of echoing that message that this person might be very hardworking. They might they enjoy feeling like they're doing something very challenging. Like they might even be overburdened. They might be a workaholic. They might really throw themselves into work and be very achievement focused. Especially with the Ten of Wands that we had in the previous part of the reading. They might be very focused on attaining material possessions with the second house here. And it's like a focus on attainment. And the number 62, which was the number of the turtle spirit, reduces to 8. And 8 in numerology is a number that is associated with hard work and material possessions. And so that might be where this person's focus is. That might be, when we were talking about the dignity card, that might be their strength. That might be playing to their strength, is that they're very naturally good at generating abundance for themselves and working really hard on something. So they might be very career focused, and they might just, you know, they might know all the right words to say, but they just might not have the capacity to commit to a relationship the way that you would deserve to be with somebody who would be committed to a relationship with you. So it's just, there's definitely a warning here about that. And then, you know, Aries and Venus, like that can be a very attractive energy, because it's a passionate energy, you know, and especially when it comes to like love and romance, and like it's an energy of somebody who would be very passionate, very fun to be in a relationship with. But here it's just giving me, like, with all this reversed energy here and the things that we know this person is struggling with, it is giving me the energy of love bombing, coming forward with a passion and then not following through. And what's interesting is that Venus in the second house is also very associated with the throat chakra, or the second house in Venus. I always get that messed up. The like order in the way in which you're supposed to say things in astrology, I get it messed up. But you know, the connection between Venus and the second house is associated with the throat chakra, and it can also be when somebody has a job that is related to speaking. So they could be a public speaker, they might be a teacher, they might be there might just be like, and again, it's connected with that dignity card where it's like your voice matters. So it could be that this person has a job where they are used to speaking, and that might be something that they are used to using. They're used to using their words and their voice. Again, it's getting the energy of somebody who knows how to tell you exactly what you want to hear. And that could be like a source of their armor. Like they might use it as a part of their hard outer shell, you know, and they might give the impression of somebody who is very emotionally open or emotionally evolved. But the reality is they are not comfortable with true intimacy because they don't feel safe. And they would not be bringing that the necessary level of vulnerability to a relationship with you. It's like vulnerability is very necessary in order to build trust, to build that sense of intimacy in a relationship. You know, and to connect with somebody on an authentic level, we need to be able to be vulnerable with them. you know, and this person is just not capable of that at this current point in time. And so I was talking about the Astro Dice. I do think it's interesting that we have, you know, this connection with the throat chakra, and then I was talking about the throat chakra in the previous part of the reading. I think that is part of one of this person's life lessons, you know, that might be what their spirit guides are encouraging them to work on. That might be something that they might, you know, innately know that they need to work on. They might have maybe like an overdeveloped throat chakra where they, you know, they speak a lot, or they speak too much, or they speak over people, or they spread gossip, or they use their voice in a negative way. Maybe they use it to manipulate people. They might not be fully aware that they're doing it. They might not be doing it maliciously. It might be like a coping mechanism or survival tactic for this person that they had to learn growing up without the proper supports. But at the end of the day, there is a connection with this person using their voice in some way that's like not necessarily in alignment with who they are. It's either not speaking up about the things that they need to speak up about, or it's about speaking too much about things that are not they're not using their voice in like a healthy or helpful or supportive way. So, you know, just take that however resonates. And then I also thought that it was also interesting because with your oracle cards, this is advice for you from your spirit guides. There's a lot of throat chakra energy here as well. And so that might be something that you are currently working on, is your throat chakra, or an area where spirit would like you to focus next. And it is advice related specifically to this person and this relationship. And because of that, I'm getting the sense that this communication is key card. The new moon in Gemini is like the crux of the advice here from spirit when it comes to this relationship or any relationship that you are considering in your future. So I wanted to say that at the top before I get into the cards. So I'm going to get into the cards now. So these tarot cards represent what a relationship with this person would be like anytime in the near future. You know, I can't say whether this person is going to work on themselves and their fear of vulnerability and et cetera, in the far future. You know, I don't, maybe a couple of years from now, they might have like a come to Jesus moment, as they say, you know, and realize, oh, okay, I have to change. Something might kind of shock this person into making necessary changes. These cards are telling me it's not likely to happen anytime soon. And so a relationship with this person would probably be pretty negative. You know, we have the Eight of Wands is talking to me about somebody who is wishy-washy, somebody who likes the idea of something more than they like the reality of it. And this can come up when a yes becomes a no, when it can talk about like canceled plans. So this is talking to me about somebody who might jerk you around a lot. You know, with the energy of the Knight of Cups in the middle here, it's like they might be coming towards you and, again, saying all the things that they think you want to hear. But this is not an energy of follow-through. This is an energy of canceled plans. It's an energy of, no, I actually don't want to do that. Or it could be like this, the Four of Wands reversed that we were seeing in the previous part of the reading, could be a pattern of behavior for this person where they reach a relationship milestone of some kind and they're not satisfied. And it could be because they're not, sorry about the car outside. It's because they're not doing the inner work. You know, they're the blockage, whatever is blocking their Four of Wands is coming from them. You know, but it's just with this Eight of Wands here, is telling me this person is not going to show up for you. They're just not going to do it. And it's going to be really bad for your mental health with this Nine of Swords reversed. This is a strong warning from your spirit guides about what a relationship with this person would be like. The Nine of Swords is never a positive message. If it does have a positive message, it's usually in the form of like a silver lining, in terms of, you know, when we hit a bottom, you know, there's usually an ending, or the nine is very close to the end, so it's like it's hitting a bottom or a breaking point, and then we can start over from there. That's the only positive way that I know how to interpret the Nine of Swords. And when it's reversed, it's like the message is even more negative. This is a card about poor mental health. It's about struggling with depression, struggling with anxiety, like just to the point where you are struggling to cope with the direction that your life has taken. And it's like, it's really heavy. It's a very heavy energy. And if this is coming up as what a relationship with this person would be like, it's like this person jerking you around all the time. It's like jumping between the energy of Knight of Cups, like again, love bombing you, telling you things you want to hear. Yeah, of course I want to go on a date with you. Yeah, let's do this. You know, they might constantly be inviting you places that seem like a great, amazing date ideas. They might be telling you, oh yeah, like I really like you so much, and I see a future with us together. And then they're not showing up. Or they cancel at the last minute, or they decide that they didn't want to do it, or it's like, it's even an energy where it might be they might show up to something that you thought was a date with someone else. Like, it's a jerking you around, and it's causing this horrible anxiety. And it could if you, with this detoxify card with the full moon in Taurus, I'm getting the sense that you might have past connections with people who did this to you, or who had like similar patterns of behavior, where you might have tolerated this for a while because but it might have, because of any number of reasons, and this, I'm not saying this in a judgmental way, because I've absolutely been in this cycle as well, and it can be really hard to identify that we are in this cycle, B, to accept that this is not our fault, and C, to break out of this, this cycle, because it's so easy to want to believe what this person is telling us, even when their actions don't support their words, because we have feelings. Right? This person's playing on our feelings. And it's like a negative downward spiral right here. It's like a black hole. And it's really heavy. And that's why I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic about how bad this would be, but I feel compelled to just be as honest as possible about what I'm seeing in these cards. It's not a positive message. And you're being warned by Spirit. Like, Spirit's coming through to give you a warning. This is not going to end well. And with the I already talked about the Knight of Cups and why I think it's here. And then we have the Seven of Wands. It could be that, if you decided to enter a relationship with this person. What I'm seeing is, this is the beginning and middle stages. You might eventually come to the realization that, like, on your own, that this is not worth it. It's not working. That it might be following an old pattern of behavior. It's almost definitely a pattern for this person, but this might also fall into a pattern of behavior for yourself, where where it's just you have people who come towards you who seem like the real deal, and and because you're open to that, it just, unfortunately, like there might be a pattern here for you, and like from past relationships, you might, this would be an opportunity for you to stop that pattern of behavior by realizing that it's not worth struggling like this. This whatever this person is promising you, realizing they're not intending to follow through with that, or they're not capable of it. And then the Seven of Wands reverse is talking to me about reevaluating whether it's time to give up on something, because it is much harder than you thought it was going to be. And so that's like, it's a pretty clear message. I think that this would saying, like, you would realize at some point that it's not worth it. And then the Three of Swords reversed. It's like, the Three of Swords, again, it's like another Nine of Swords. It's like, this is almost never a positive message. When it is a positive message, it's usually just like in the form of a silver lining. When this Three of Swords is reversed, it talks about something that is so painful and heartbreaking that we feel like we can't escape that horrible feeling. It can talk about even just being like feeling really stuck in that heartbroken energy. And it could be because we had such high hopes for what the relationship was going to be like. It could be, you know, because maybe there's like a sunk cost fallacy here of like we put so much time and energy and effort into this connection and it didn't work out. But this is an energy of like just like such a horrible, heartbreaking feeling, such a heavy feeling, that it's like it's gonna linger for a long time. It's gonna be really hard to recover from. And again, when I'm saying this relationship would probably not be good for your mental health. I'm talking about this Nine of Swords and this Three of Swords. It's just that there's again a strong warning here not to believe what this person is telling you. And I think that's why the main piece of advice about this relationship from your spirit guides is communication is key with the new moon in Gemini. I think that something that came through when I was shuffling these cards was the reason communication is key here is I think you are learning, especially with the Canary spirit, I think you are learning how to, and you're like actually learning and actually putting the work in to learning how to express what you need and learning how to express yourself in general and express your authentic self in general. I think that this is something that, you know, that Spirit's coming through to say, this, our advice is to sing your own song. You got to be your authentic self, right? And then we have communication is key. It's like, I think the more you talk to this person and the more you bring your own authentic self to the table, the more you're going to realize that this Knight of Cups is just saying words at you and they don't have substance. It's like the water in this cup it's turning into bubbles and it's floating away. It's not substantial. This person is not offering you anything that is long lasting. And it's just something that just came into my head was there was an old internet meme that I saw. I don't know if it started out as a meme, but that's how I know it, where it was like, you know, why would you give someone flowers when they're just going to die? I would rather give someone a potato because potatoes have substance and they last forever and you can plant them and, you know, like they're very nutritious, like all those other reasons. It's like this person's not rolling up with flowers or a potato. They're rolling up with bubbles, you know, and like, yeah, sure. Bubbles are like whimsical. They're cute. They're heart-shaped, but they're going to pop and evaporate. There's nothing of substance here. And again, like communication is key. First of all, it is very important in every relationship to communicate and advocate for your own needs. And that's your own emotional needs, physical needs, whatever we're talking about here. And this is like, I think Spirit is saying, you do not have to engage in a relationship with this person to learn these lessons. In fact, it's better if you don't. But if you were to engage in a relationship with this person, that would be the key lesson, would be learning how to communicate effectively. And again, I'm getting the sense the more you talk to this person, when, you know, and I'm getting that they probably will come towards you. This Knight of Cups here is a messenger. They're coming towards you and offering something. It is likely this person will reveal their feelings. And when they do, again, the advice, communication is key. Just keep talking to them, and I think it will become obvious to you that this person is just, again, they're just saying words. They don't have as much substance as they seem to, if that makes sense. Like I'm harping on about that point because I think it's very important, especially if this person is using words or phrases or things that they know about you, you know, to try to get under your skin or get into your, you know, like just to try to get close to you or develop intimacy with you. You know, I think it is really important that you use your words to communicate clearly and honestly with this person. And that might even, like, if this person is like, oh, okay, I see that pile 3 is not going to be easily swayed. You know, there could be a message, they might move on. You know, but you know, even if they are very doggedly persistent in pursuing you, I think you still need to do what is best for you and communicate that you are only willing to do what is best for you. I think that's important. So I wanted to say that. And again, like there's a lot of throat chakra energy. We got the canary, very connected with the, there's singing notes, and also the blue color, and then the new moon in Gemini with communication, definitely throat chakra themed. And then we have the electric eel spirit, which is also that blue color. And what's interesting is we have the 12 and the 24 here, and this, there was 2 people on this card. So what I'm interpreting about the canary spirit is, and this, the basic message of this card is just about speaking your authentic truth, and the importance of doing that for your own well-being and your own mental health, regardless of how people react to it. Like, it's doing it for you because you deserve to be authentic and put your real self out there, and be in a place of confidence where you know that you have something worthy to say, regardless of whether anybody wants to hear it. It's still worth saying, and saying just for the sake of making your opinion known. You're worthy of having an opinion. And that's to this turtle spirit person, your voice matters. And it's important to share your voice. And that's that's a general piece of advice from Spirit about, just in general, I think this is something that they want you to work on. I'm also associating this card with, when you put your authentic voice out there and you express who you really are and you share that with people, especially in a way that makes you feel vulnerable, you will attract people who are vibrating on the same frequency as you. These 2 people are vibrating on the same frequency. The two people on this Gemini card. I know they're supposed to be twins, but it's like it's almost like a soul twin. Like, you will attract people who are like you because you're putting your authentic self out there, and then you will attract genuine connections with people who are genuine with their intentions. Does that make sense? When you put authenticity out into the universe, you attract authenticity back from other people. And, you will attract people who are not going to be offering you bubbles. You will attract people who will offer you a potato, something of real substance. And, and that's what you deserve. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like the 12 on this card is being multiplied into a 24 on this card. It's when you put your voice out there, a voice will answer back. You will get more than you have put out there, if that makes sense. That's an intuitive message that was coming through. I also want to point out, I just noticed there's a shark on this card. There is a shark underneath this person, which is interesting. I've never noticed that before. It's almost the energy of this person trying to lure you into shark-infested waters. So I just wanted to say that. And then with the full moon in Taurus, which says detoxify. Again, these cards could be more like general advice. However, it does pertain to this relationship. If we're talking about detoxify, that might be saying you are getting close to ending a cycle where you might have been in connections that did have like a toxic element to it, or certain dynamics that might have followed a pattern of behavior like this. And this is Spirit saying you have an opportunity here to release any toxicity from past connections or past people who were not authentic or genuine with you, who didn't show up for you the way that you needed them to, and it's like it's an opportunity to kind of let go of that type of thing. And we have a full moon and then a new moon. It's like this is the old cycle where there was toxic stuff going on. We're releasing that, we're detoxifying that, and then we're starting a new moon where we are communicating what we need and advocating for ourselves, and trusting that the universe is going to put people into our path who are in alignment with our honest, authentic self. And that's another message of this. The first quarter moon is Sagittarius. Believe in your good luck. This card is associated with the crown chakra. This is the Moonology Manifestation Oracle. So these cards are connected with manifestation. And so you might be trying to manifest a loving relationship, like a real authentic connection with somebody. You might be trying to manifest a soulmate, it might be trying to attract people into your life who are on your frequency. And with this message, the first intuitive message that popped into my head when I saw this card was, there's somebody better out there for you. and you will find them. You will, you will find a connection. Like, again, I'm operating under the assumption, that you are single right now, and that I'm realizing as I'm speaking that might be too much of an assumption, and that might not apply to everybody. You might just be curious about who's into you, and you might not be looking for a relationship, or you might be in a happy, healthy, loving relationship. In which case, I would say that this is like, it's important to clearly communicate with this person. It's important to kind of let go of past behaviors and past patterns of behavior. It's important to, again, like stand in your authentic truth and express yourself the way that you need to. And then with belief in your good luck, this might be a message that whatever you are trying to manifest, whatever you are trying to attract into your life, it is coming towards you. And there's an element of needing to have faith. And with the crown chakra symbol here is telling me that Spirit might be sending you signs and synchronicities. You might be seeing a lot of angel numbers. You might be having dreams about a certain person, or people, or energies, or situations, and this is, I think, Spirit's way of saying, like, pay attention to that, because that's related to something that you are manifesting. It's like those messages are coming from Spirit because they want you to have faith that that you are lucky and that you will have the things in life that you want to attract towards you. And if you are single and you are looking for a relationship or trying to manifest one, again, this is saying, like, Spirit saying, don't worry. We're going to bring in somebody who is singing in your key. They're singing in tune with you. And it's going to be a real, genuine, authentic connection with somebody who can offer you a lot more than this person can. And then with the electric eel spirit, this is an interesting message. It says, bring your ideas to life. And it has a specific message about, again, as was related to this message of the crown chakra, Spirit might be sending you things. Because the electric eels, like electric eels shock, they use electricity to shock their prey, I assume. But they shock things. This is talking about like an epiphany, a breakthrough, an aha moment, a sudden creative idea. And there's very associated with creativity, if that is something that applies to you. This might be Spirit taking the opportunity to say, hey, we sent you an idea for a creative project and we want you to work on it. If that's resonating for you, if that applies to you. Otherwise, it could just be a message. You are going to have some sort of breakthrough. There's going to be some idea that occurs to you, and they're asking you to follow that thread, because it is an idea or a thought or a breakthrough, or even if you have like a breakthrough in therapy, even if you whatever that means for you, however it applies, if you have like a sudden inspiration, a sudden lightning strike moment where something suddenly becomes clear to you, Spirit is taking the opportunity right now to ask you to follow that path, invest in that idea. See where it leads you, and believe in your good luck, because that is an idea or a thought or a breakthrough or an aha moment that was sent directly from Spirit to you so that you would pursue it. And there's also a message here, you might have recently had something like that, something occur to you like that, and you might have dismissed it. The Spirit's asking you to take another look at it because it's important. And it was sent from Spirit. So, you would know, how and if that applies to you. And if you have been waiting for a new cycle to start, this is great advice from Spirit. The key here is to use your voice in whatever way that applies to you. And if you are looking for a relationship, it might just be like going out and speaking with people, putting your voice out there in some way, communicating in some way. And something else that came to me, I almost forgot when I was looking at these cards, is if you are resonating with the message of the Gemini card, can't remember if it was what phase moon it was, but the Gemini card in the last part of the reading that was saying, speak your world into being. There might be an energy related to manifestation practices that Spirit wants you to engage in, and it could be they want you to communicate exactly the type of relationship that you want to have. They might want you to, and that can include scripting. It can include literally just writing down either a list of qualities, or saying that doesn't really work for me. I've tried doing this in the past, and I found that was, I don't know, it felt kind of weird. Just writing down like a list of qualities of someone. Something that did work for me was saying, okay, how would I spend my ideal Saturday with my ideal partner? Like, what would that be like? You know, and then that just doing like a creative writing exercise like that it could help you gain some clarity about what you want out of a relationship, and then help you communicate that either out into the universe to your spirit guides when you're trying to manifest something, or out loud to real people, you know, and and even like talking to your friends about what you want in a relationship. They might know somebody like that, or just putting that in like your Tinder bio or whatever, just like putting that energy out there of what you actually want out of a connection is going to help attract that towards you. So that was an intuitive message that was coming through. With that said, that is all of the advice that I have for you today. That is what I am seeing in the cards related to your secret admirer for this part of the reading today, pile 3. If you would like to, please feel free to check out the extended reading. The link is in the description, and we will be taking a look at their true and honest feelings about you. So this might include things that they would never say to your face, but how they truly and honestly feel about you. And then we're going to get a little bit of an ego boost and hear about what this person finds attractive about you. So if you're interested, you can check out that video. And if you liked this video, you can feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below and let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 3, and I do hope to see you in my next video.